What's up, everybody? We're doing another tier list. We're doing another fucking tier list. This is the anime protagonists that rock my socks tier list. Hell yeah. Again, I made this one because, like, all the other ones that I found were shit, so, like, I just didn't, I didn't bother with them. Yeah, let's just get this shit fucking right. Let's just get right into this shit. These are our tiers. We have Inferno Cop, because shout out to the voice actor for Inferno Cop. He passed away recently, and that dude, he was a legend. So is Inferno Cop. So as an ode to Inferno Cop, he takes the number one spot. If you're an Inferno Cop, you're a fucking legend. We got the he fucks tier, because, you know, man, some of these characters, they fuck, man. Yeah, he fucks. We got the total Chads, man. Those really solid characters. They're overall just a fucking Chad, man. They're just fucking cool guy, but not like cool guy, because that's our next tier. Cool guy. They're just cool guy. Yeah, they're a cool guy. And then to round us off, we have Nobody and Fuckboy. Nobodies are just like, we don't care. We don't give a shit about them. And then Fuckboys, Fuckboys.
This is like how I categorize dudes in college. I just walk around and I'm like, nobody, cool guy, he fucks, Inferno Cop.
I wanna be walking around your fucking college campus and just be like, yo man, you're an Inferno Cop, and people be like, what?
Scared. They're like,
yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
Inferno Cop.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, let's fucking go. Let's get hype. Another tier list. Let's do it. We're starting off with Boruto. I don't know how much you've seen of Boruto. I don't know how much you know about Boruto, but this guy is a fuckboy. He's a fuckboy. Boruto is everything that Naruto isn't. He's this fucking pampered, doughy, snobby kid whose daddy is a fucking alum, like a normal college kid, you know what I mean? Like all the fucking white kids that go to your school. But like he sucks. Naruto was like awesome because of the grind, you know what I mean? Naruto was a character that grinded. He trained. He's a fuck up. He constantly did shit that he wasn't supposed to do, and he was just a loser. Boruto is the complete opposite of that, and the whole show is based around him having this almost estranged dad who has to fucking take care of his literal entire village because he's like the president. And Boruto just like doesn't get it, and like even when they have arcs where it's like, oh yeah, I get it, you know, my dad's the Hokage. The fucking next arc, he just won't get it again. He'll just be like, my dad never pays any attention to me. I'm like, dude, come on. He's the fucking Hokage.
So is the problem that he doesn't learn anything from arc to arc?
He never learns anything from arc to arc, and like, he's completely antithetical to what made Naruto so good. Because, again, Naruto was this grinder. He was this fucking guy who was a loser. Nobody liked him. His son is a fucking prodigy. His son is, like, the coolest guy on the block. And he does all the cool shit. He masters... Not only does he master the Rasengan in no problem, but he also has, like, a better version of it. Like, his turn's invisible. Like...
I thought that was because of the ninja tools?
No, he just does it. He can just do it.
Oh, he can just do that?
Yeah. Right? It's so fucking stupid. I hate Boruto. And, like, the show itself has some good qualities about it. I'm not gonna say that the Boruto itself is, like, a bad show, but it's just not Naruto. And at some points, it really tries to be the arc where they go back in time. It really tries to be Naruto and capture like all the magic that Naruto had, but it just doesn't. It doesn't at all.
But clearly, you don't have to grind to be. I mean, we haven't reached One Punch Man yet, but he didn't work for any of his strength. He's just the strongest.
Yeah, he did. He trained. Remember, for like it was like 3 whole years. He every
I don't
day.
think that's where his power to blow literal sea monsters
Look,
away comes from.
Dude, that's the excuse that the show gives, though. So like,
I don't actually think that's the reason.
But no, okay, like it's not about just the fact that he doesn't grind. Like, yeah, not all the fucking characters on this list are like grinders, you know what I mean? But at the same time, they want to present Boruto like it is another Naruto. Like it is it's a new generation, but it's still like the same type of show. And everything that made Boruto or made Naruto great is not Boruto, but they want to make you feel like it is. You know what I mean?
So,
and again, he learns nothing. This kid all the time fucking is like that time travel arc that I was talking about is like, I don't know, the 4th arc, like the fourth or 5th major arc in the series, and Boruto like already knows that his dad does a ton of shit and that he's the Hokage and that he had a hard time growing up, you know what I mean? But then like he goes back in time and he's like, "Oh man, my dad really had a hard time growing up. Maybe I should respect him more." And it's like, what the really? All right, cool, I guess. Yeah. I just can't get behind anything that Boruto is about. I really can't. Yeah, that's it. That's Boruto, though.
I never watched Boruto because it looked. I'm not saying I won't watch a kid show. I watch plenty of kid shows, but not this kid show.
Not this specific one.
It just seemed too, I don't know, zany. What's the word for something that just seems kind of silly?
I think that's it. That's fine. It's just silly. Like, it's just sillier. It is definitely sillier than the original series. Like, Naruto, especially part 1, had so much fucking, like, attitude behind it. And so much just, like just teenage angst. And Boruto, in comparison, is just a lot sillier. I definitely know what you're talking about. Okay, Deku? I don't know, because it's hard for me to, like, pinpoint Deku's character. I'd say he's probably, like, a Chad. He's probably a total Chad. He's either a Chad or a cool guy for me.
I'm just trying to think, because I don't follow My Heroes closely anymore.
Yeah.
And do I chalk that up to just less interest in the story? Or did I just stop caring about Deku as a character? I am not sure. I'm trying to parse it now.
I definitely stopped caring about Deku as a character around probably after the whole arc with what's his fuck, All for One.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped caring about Deku as a character, but that's when like he's like it's like, oh, you're up next, you know what I mean? I didn't really care though. By that point, I was like, Deku, he has a handle on his powers more now. You know, I don't really see them going anywhere with him really. Like, they're not introducing anything really new into his character. Like, his relationship with Bakugo is still interesting, but I think that's more because I like Bakugo than I like Deku.
Deku has his moments, but he seems very cookie cutter.
Yeah.
And very...
Especially in season 1.
Like, he's he's still a teenager.
Yeah.
Presumably he should be learning and changing. And yes, he learns and changes, but not. It's only his power that changes, or his ability to use his power. His way that he approaches things, that doesn't change much. It has changed slightly with respect to Bakugo, but he's basically the same person he was at the start.
Yeah. I mean, because, like, the ideal of, hey, I want to be a true hero is consistent throughout the whole thing. And that's fine, because that's his motivation to do what he does. But like, from outside of that, it's like, besides getting stronger, he doesn't really change at all to me.
You'd think after interacting with, I don't know, Stain,
Yeah.
like, he would be more reticent about, like, becoming, like, what is a true hero? He never really asks himself questions like that. It's just sort of like,
if
I'll be like All Might. He never questions All Might.
No, he doesn't.
Or anything, like, maybe there's nothing to question him on, or to question that ideal, but shouldn't you? I don't know.
Maybe he does later even, but like in the stuff that I saw, like he wasn't. You know what I mean? So I can't really say like, oh, maybe this is where he's going with his character. And like, if Deku was a character that like looked at how society was structured around being a true hero, you know what I mean, and like heroism at its core. What it means to be a hero, how do you go about being a true hero, stuff like that. It's like, that would be an interesting take, especially with like the really like narcissistic almost society that he lives in. But I just don't like, he doesn't do that. Like he just doesn't.
And Deku is unique in that he didn't have a quirk. I mean, you'd think that would affect how he sees what he does, how he is, which it sort of does, I guess, in that he wants to help everyone.
Yeah, you have to understand that like Deku grew up without a quirk. He like growing up without a quirk in this type of like society is basically like being disabled. Like you literally can't have as many opportunities as, say, like a Bakugo would, or even like a Seto, like even somebody with a lesser quirk. He just shoots tape out of his fucking.
That dude's still in Class A though.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, but still, like.
How did he defeat the robots?
I don't know, man. He tripped him with some tape. I guess.
How did Invisible Girl defeat the robots? I see that literally all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really thought. I don't know. I really never really thought about it.
How do you amplify invisibility? How do you make that quirk your own?
Yeah,
you're invisible.
Well, like she might have also just gotten in because invisibility is such a strong quirk that's like, how do you not? I don't know, but even still, like, again, like Deku basically grows up as a disabled person. And he never the show doesn't comment on that at all, and like what like he felt like it's like, oh yeah, he was sad obviously because he couldn't be a hero, but like, and he got bullied, but like, how did he feel about not having a quirk? Like, how did he think that his life would turn out without a quirk, or without a quirk? Like, what was his plan? Because like, he says like, yeah, I wanted to be a hero, but like, you obviously weren't going to be a hero without a quirk. Like, you were not.
Exactly, and that's the thing. He seems like no matter whether he had a quirk or not, he would have turned out exactly the same.
Yeah.
But you'd think there would be a difference, or maybe some kind of, I don't know, reflection.
Yeah.
Maybe that's asking for too much.
I don't know either, but like, the more we're talking about Deku, the more I'm just like, yeah, we'll put him in cool guy. But like, I don't hate Deku, like, you know what I mean? I do like him, especially in season 2, I like him a lot. But again, that was because like, he was learning to control his powers more, and he like spurred on his other classmates. Like, he spurred on Todoroki to be better. He spurred on Ida to be better. He inspires these people, and like, maybe he still does that to some extent, but I stopped watching because I just lost interest in the character. And I fucking love Bakugo. Like, he's my favorite character in the series, but, like, he doesn't get enough screen time for me to, like, actually keep caring about the show. So, it's unfortunate. Okay, Edward Elric. Okay, Edward Elric, he fucks. Alright, this man fucks. I don't know, maybe I could be convinced to put him into Inferno Cop, but, like, I also do have problems with Fullmetal Alchemist and Brotherhood. Like, I have problems with both the series. So I don't think they're, like, the masterpieces everybody says they are, but, like, they're still, like, really fucking good.
To contrast Edward with Deku briefly,
Yeah.
his motivation doesn't change throughout the series. It's always, well, okay, some things get added on, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Their motivation was always to get their bodies back, but they are constantly changing and appreciating how maybe that's kind of like, I remember in episode 6 or something, they figure out what the Philosopher's Stone really is, and they're like, oh, this is... We can't do that.
It's fucked. Like, it's a fucked situation.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And they're constantly learning and encountering new things in the homunculi, and they're like, oh, this is much bigger than us.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just so much... There's much more dynamism and much more change going on because they're reacting and shaping events in a way that Deku doesn't. He doesn't change how he really approaches things. He doesn't question how he approaches things. But the Elric brothers are constantly questioning
The only
themselves.
thing that Edward Elric does is question things. That's his, like, primary thing. Everything that he does, everything that he every problem that he goes about, he asks the most questions. And in their society, which is, like, wonderfully fleshed out, the things that he questions, none of the other characters are ever like, I thought about that. It's always Edward is posing these new ideas and new philosophies and going about things in a certain way that, like, nobody else really does. But even then, like, other characters still, like Mustang still poses kind of like not like a mentor to the Elric brothers, but like a friend that they can bounce ideas off of, and he can push them to like to not only better themselves, but to like continue questioning and continue learning and growing constantly. So like he's like Edward's fucking awesome, dude.
The Elric brothers are also very self-aware that they, even though they are the protagonists, they understand they're not the center of the universe.
Yeah.
They're willing to stop and try and overthrow the government when it's revealed that it's corrupt, even though it could cost them their lives and, it could stop them from achieving their goal. But Edward's like, I mean, look, some things are bigger than that.
Yeah.
That's another thing is just...
And they learned that lesson at such a young age. Like, as soon as you try to transmutate, like, another person into reality again, like, you face such a fucking consequence that Alphonse lives in a suit of armor. Edward is missing an arm and a leg. Like, the horrible curse of trying to transmutate another person into reality again. Like, they learn their lesson at such a young age, and it really warps their sense of reality. Like,
their maturity is believable because they've suffered so much. Like, when they're talking to that one woman who wants the high priest to bring her boyfriend back or something that.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you can't bring people back.
I think her name is Rose?
Rose.
Yeah.
That's right. And they see... When Deku inspires Todoroki, it's kind of out of nowhere. But the Elric brothers inspire Rose because they're like, hey, guess what? We tried to do that, and this is what happened to us. We know.
Yeah. And that's like a thing of them again, question, like, immediately the show starts out and it's like this, they go to this town and it's overrun by this religion that this fucking Cornello made up, you know? And he like, immediately, he's just like, yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Even though, like, you guys have seen these miracles, quote unquote, miracles happen, I don't believe it. Because here's what I know about here's what I know about the world. Here's how I know how the world works. Because I've experienced that. He's like, what, 15, I think?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And he already knows so much about how the world works. And he's constantly studying and reading and gaining information.
But that
by the way, I'm moving fucking Edward Elric up into a fucking Inferno cop. Dude, this guy is awesome.
Inferno cop.
Yeah, just talking about him, I was like, hell yes. Let's go, Edward. And, like, can I just say about Fullmetal Alchemist? The fact that it's considered like a quote-unquote gateway anime, I think is a fucking crime. Because here's the thing. Fullmetal Alchemist is so much better than, like, most of the other, like, gateway anime. Like, I'd consider My Hero a gateway anime. I'd consider, like, Dragon Ball Z a gateway anime. Fucking Fullmetal Alchemist blows those series out of the water. Like, it does. So, like, the fact that people kind of, like, are like, hey, you know, yeah, watch this if you want to fucking get an ad. Like, it's like, yeah, you can do that. Like, and of course, it's a fine recommendation. It's amazing. But even still, I'm like, wow, comparing this gateway anime to everything else is fucking mind-blowing.
Fullmetal Alchemist is like, you watch My Hero and you think, am I just expecting too much? Like, is it impossible to develop all these characters and, like, tell a story?
Which it kind of is, because they introduce a fuck ton of characters.
But here's the thing. Fullmetal Alchemist is literally like, what if I do that and more?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. I probably shouldn't set my expectations by Fullmetal Alchemist.
No, probably
or I'm
not.
gonna be in for a world of disappointment.
Yeah. Or do set your expectations by Fullmetal Alchemist. Like, it's still amazing. Giorno Giovanna. This guy's a fucking nobody. I put all the JoJo's on this list just because I like talking about JoJo, even though I don't really like the series all that much. But, like, okay, so, like, I got into this series because our friend TJ told me about, and he constantly badgered me about JoJo. He was like, dude, I fucking love JoJo. You should watch it. You should read it. Whatever the fuck. And I listened to other things about JoJo, and I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to sit down. I'm going to give this series a chance. And the way... Giorno is his favorite JoJo. And the way he described JoJo to me, or he described Giorno to me, is that he has the rage of Dio, because Dio is his father. He has the rage of Dio and the luck of the Joestars, which is the main family. That sounds fucking awesome, but that is nothing like what Giorno actually is. He's really kind of just bland. He has this dream of becoming, like, the prime, the head mafia boss or whatever. And I'm not going to say his motivations are bad or anything, but, like, he's such a static character, and I don't understand, like, I don't get anything from Giorno. I really don't get anything. And to be fair, let me be fair. I didn't finish part 5, and I did not watch, like, I didn't watch half of it. I didn't get to the halfway point. But, like, of what I did see, I wasn't impressed at all. He's pretty static throughout most of or all of the show from what I saw. He's static throughout the entire show. And he doesn't really have any, like, big character moments that I can latch onto and be like, this is who Giorno is. This is who he is as a character. I don't get that from him. Maybe I could be fucking convinced otherwise. Maybe something happens later on, and I just needed to get farther in. But like I watched like over 10 episodes, and if you're really not giving me anything about your main character in 10 plus episodes, I'm not holding my breath for anything else. So yeah, he's a nobody for me. Goku. I'm gonna put Goku in Total Chad, just because I think he is kind of like a Deku. Maybe we'll talk about him more, and I don't know, or my opinion will change, but I don't know. I see him as a Total Chad.
I don't see him as any better or worse than Deku. I mean, do I?
that is the question, maybe.
I like Goku more than Deku, but I don't know if that's because he's a good protagonist per se. It's just because I like Dragon Ball Z more than I like My Hero.
I do like Goku more than I like Deku, but that's just because. So like Goku started out as like as the protagonist of Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball started out as a comedy manga. So like once we got into Z and it was more like action focused. I mean, Z Dragon Ball still still has those Z portions, but you know what I mean. As soon as we get into like the big time jumps where he's like older, once we get into those, it becomes like, the comedy protagonist is now an action hero. And it works. Just because like I like the idea that we have, like, we get to see his whole life, basically. Like, we get to see him as a kid, we get to see him as a teenager, we get to see him a little bit older, and then now, like, he's in Super, he's, like, in his 50s, right? Like, we are seeing the entire life of this man, and, like, the phases that he goes through, raising his own children, and the things that come with that. So, like...
Well, we say raising, but Goten has never aged, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know why he still looks like that. In Super, he's 14, and he still looks like that. Teen Gohan? Yeah, that kid was 11, so... Goten, I don't know if he's hitting a growth spurt anytime soon, but he kind of needs to. But, like, yeah, that's why I think Goku... Not even, like, a more interesting character, but, like, you get to spend a lot of time with him. You get to spend... You get to see, like, the phases of his life. You get to see him, married, having a kid, taking care of, Gohan, and his responsibilities on top of that. I don't want to... Dude, I'm so fucking sick and tired of this Goku is a bad dad meme. I am so fucking sick and tired of it. Like... The man basically sacrificed his life to kill an enemy.
Didn't he give Cell a sensu bean, though?
That was... Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I mean...
That was stupid. I'm not going to say he's not an idiot.
That was pretty bad.
I'm not going to say he's not an idiot, but again, like, he made up for it. He sacrificed his life twice for Gohan. Against Raditz, and then against Cell.
I'm not, I won't say he's a bad dad per se, but he did send his son, who hates fighting, to fight Cell, who was...
Yes.
A monster man.
He misses a couple steps, and that's fine, because that's a character flaw, you know what I mean? And, like, I'm totally okay with that. Like, if Goku isn't, like, the perfect dad, like, I'm not saying he is the perfect dad, but I'm saying he's a lot better than people give him credit for.
So, I actually think the Cell saga is the most textured Goku ever gets.
Definitely. I think time out, my bad, just to cut you off. I think that and, like, pre-Z Goku, where he's, like, I think he's 18, like, when he fights Piccolo and stuff like that the first time. That, then, and Cell Saga are, like, peak Goku for me.
Because there are some odd things that happen. Well, Goku's been out of it before during these arcs. Like in the Frieza arc, he was healing for a long time. In this one, he has his heart illness. So one of the most interesting moments is when he's fighting Android 20, 19 or 20?
Yeah, he's fighting Android 19.
And
Giro is 20.
And the android starts kicking the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's going on here? I also think his sacrifice is sort of like Goku's always been a good guy. He is willing to sacrifice himself, obviously, but he's just sort of like, because he knows he's screwed over. He kind of, not that he screwed over Gohan, but that he sort of pushed him into a bad situation, and he's like, look, I made a mistake, and this isn't your fault. I'm gonna teleport away with this guy, and I'm gonna die, but you need to not blame yourself.
Yeah,
and that's a powerful moment. I feel like, where Gohan's just like, he's like, I'm just as stupid, and Goku's like, you're not. You're better than I am.
Yeah,
but
because he did, his plan works. You know what I mean? He gave Cell a sensu bean to push Gohan to make him stronger than himself.
Okay, I don't know if I'd characterize that as his plan working.
Well,
I think he just sort of.
I mean,
is stupid.
He gets lucky, but his plan still does work. But even then, he doesn't get it. You know what I mean? He still kind of doesn't get it, and that's because Goku in himself, he's kind of a moron. He is. He doesn't. He's not really in tune with his I don't know, his thought process. I get I don't know what his thought process was, but
this dude didn't know how to tell a person's gender in the beginning of Dragon Ball without
without doing.
He couldn't just look at a person and say, "Got it."
Yeah, exactly. So he's not the brightest fucking crayon in the box.
Pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah. So and he's always been like that. So I can't really blame him for fucking making a dumb decision, you know what I mean? Because again, he's still this is my fault. He's mature enough to realize this is my fault. I fucked up. Dude, that's why I'm always bro, it should have just ended at Cell. Should have just ended at Cell. Fucking Gohan becomes the savior of the planet for the rest of all time, whatever. I don't care. It should have just ended at Cell.
I think Goku belongs in Total Chad. I think he's more nuanced than Deku is, and that could just be a symptom of My Hero hasn't gone on as long.
Yeah.
But I also know Goku a lot better.
Yeah.
Perhaps as time goes on, Deku will improve.
But it's I also know Goku a lot better. Because I just thought you said that, and I was yeah, because he's really simple. Goku's really simple, but so is Deku. You know what I mean? Deku isn't a really nuanced character. He's pretty straightforward. And I know people are oh, My Hero is the best you can do shonen, but
that's honestly,
I don't think that's true.
To go into our next character, I actually think when people say that, they're wrong. They should really
they're
say
thinking about God.
They should really say that about Hunter x Hunter. But
I mean, they do. I think. Well, they do and they don't, because Gon. Okay, I am not the best person to be talking about Gon, because I don't really like him all that much. Not in the sense that I don't like his character, but I think he's just like Deku, where he doesn't really go anywhere, and he's pretty static throughout the whole show until we get to Chimera Ant, which I didn't even really get into. I couldn't get into that arc. So, yeah, but I also feel speaking of just the refinement of shonen tropes or whatever, people are Hunter x Hunter has so many subversive tropes in shonen, and it's no, it doesn't. I mean, not really. It's still shonen, still pretty the same thing. I don't know. I don't see what they mean.
In terms of shonen, though, I think Hunter x Hunter is about as just shonen, it's the most refined form of it.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that.
It's just cool battles and cool characters fighting. It's not It can be nuanced.
Yeah, but those characters are also. I think those characters are nuanced. I think those characters can be complex. I think like a guy like Leorio is super underrated because he is nuanced. He is kind of complex.
Well, exactly, and that's why when I look at Gon, I think it's true that he doesn't change that much throughout the series, but I do think, especially. Not really during Greed Island, but especially in the Chimera Ant arc, he really starts to... Because up until then, it has been the real world,
Yeah.
but it really hasn't. Because even when Hisoka was fighting him, he wasn't going all out.
Yeah.
He's fighting in tournaments, he's fighting in Greed Island, which was real fighting. He really fought that guy who blew stuff up, but...
Like all of them.
But then he goes to the island, and it's just like... And Kite just dies almost instantly.
Almost.
It's like, insane.
You don't see Kite and that's something that they mess up because like Kite and Gon had like an actual relationship in the manga. And when he sees Kite again, it's like, oh my fucking god, Kite! And then when Kite dies, it hits Gon that much harder. And in the anime, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense for his character because he doesn't have that relationship with Kite, really. At least we don't see it a lot.
But even in the anime, even though I agree it is less, like, you don't see that relationship as much, you can still feel it when...
Yeah.
Because especially with how because Kite was super strong.
Yeah.
This guy was a monster, and he was like, yeah... I mean, I'll take you with me, but like, if we see danger, you run immediately. And he just gets killed with zero difficulty, and Gon's like, this is the first taste I think Gon really has of just this brutal world that is just, that he's on.
That he doesn't know about.
That he doesn't.
You know what I mean?
Because Gon's, like, cheerfulness and optimism... It exists despite all these difficulties, but he hasn't really, like... Nobody's gone after Killua or something trying to get to him. Yeah. Or trying to cause him emotional damage. Or, no, they really haven't. It's just like, he's looking for his dad, and he's just this cheerful, optimistic kid, and then this mentor figure just literally dead in front of him. Yeah. Brutally. So he keeps going through and eventually meets up with Moral and the other guys.
Yeah.
And because he's angry, he wants to either find out if Kite's alive or get revenge for Kite. And then he finally encounters Pito, who's trying to save this girl. And he's like, yeah, I'll wait. Which is just... The way they animated that shit... was incredible because they just captured this person who was ready to crack at literally any second because he's just been on this island for so long and he's just seen so much horrible crap and people, the one guy whose hair literally turned white after he felt, I don't know if it was the highest ant's presence Meruem, or it was one of his lieutenants. But his hair literally got shocked white. Insane. So that's how bad it was. These are the professionals.
Yeah. And they're like, we're fucked.
And then Pito's like, oh yeah, Kite's dead. Yeah, I killed him. And she's like, ha, I killed him. You're such a loser. And Gon's like... You can see he has his face, the same face that's just cheery and optimistic the entire time. He's like, okay, that's fine. I don't need to be alive anymore. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna, kill you. And that's when,
Yeah, that transformation scene is badass. That is the absolute coolest thing in the Hunter x Hunter anime. Dude, it's so fucking cool.
Watching him just beat Pito mercilessly.
Like, into the dirt.
And it's insane because, like, Gon isn't super strong. He gets his ass beat a decent amount.
Yeah.
But he is just, like, Pito,
He like pounds her into paste, dude. Like it's like
crushes her skull, and then he lets his arm get cut off to be more like Kite. And then he's just like, I don't care.
Absolute fucking monster.
I don't care.
Yeah, that shit is awesome.
I wish more of that had been in the rest of the series.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean, right? Like that stuff about Gon is really cool and interesting. But like the Chimera Ant arc is at the end of the anime. It's at the very end of it. And like I think Gon is fine, but like and it's just I didn't like finish the Chimera Ant arc. And the rest of the show is like, fuck. Like, I like Killua a lot more, which we'll get to him. I like Kurapika a lot more. I like the other main 4 protagonists. Or the other main 3. I guess Leorio isn't really a protagonist, but, like, I like Leorio, Killua, and Kurapika all more than I like Gon. All more.
But basically, I think a big distinction between him and, say, Deku or Goku is there's no doubt that Deku and Goku are going to pick the heroic option pretty much. Yeah. Almost every time. Whereas Gon literally went out of his way to just, like, beat someone to a bloody pulp. And I mean, justified? Probably. But, like, he literally killed himself
then again,
to do it.
I don't know if Goku in every situation is going to make the heroic action. Like, we're talking about how
he literally let Frieza go after he killed Krillin. That's about as forgiving as you can get.
I know, but we were also just talking about the fact that he gave Cell a sensu bean. Like, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if he's going to necessarily make the heroic act. He'll make I know what action he's going to make most of the time. You know what I mean? That's because I know Goku. He wants to fight the strongest guy. So, like, I get that. But I don't know. I'd put Gon up in Total Chad.
I think he's probably in Total Chad.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to put him on the same level as Deku.
Yeah. 'Cause, like, again, like, all the interesting stuff that he has is in the last arc of the anime. And I'm like, shit. Hinata Shoyo from Haikyuu. He's a cool guy. There's not, like, a lot to say about Hinata, just because he's, like, your standard shonen sports protagonist. Like, again, he's really he's really hyper and energetic. He knows what he wants. He's always trying to improve, and people are always challenging him to improve, and that's really cool. And he wants to win, and that's cool. And I'm like, yeah, really, really good stuff. He has a lot of cool, or not necessarily cool moments, but like really like character building moments. I really like the arc that they just went through in the anime, where he has to learn to like be patient and like observe the others around him, because he knows he's not the best. He'll never be the best. So as long as he's absorbing information and learning more about the game, that's always really cool to see. So yeah, he's really solid. Jonathan Joestar, this dude is a fucking nobody. And I hate the shit on JoJo as much as I do. I mean, I don't hate it, but like I think some people think I really fucking hate JoJo, but I don't. It's just part 1, dude, is so fucking boring, and he's the guy that'll make the heroic pick every single fucking time. He's your straight-laced shonen protagonist. He's the hero. He punches people. He's screaming a lot. He talks about justice. Sure. That's it. That's literally it. His motivation is, I need to stop Dio. That's it. That's all it is. I think he makes a great... his sacrifice at the end of the anime, or at least at the end of his part, I think that's the coolest thing that he does. The best fucking moment that he has when he sacrifices himself. That's cool. Outside of that, I'm not getting anything from Jonathan. I'm really not. And Joseph, I almost fucking forgot his name. Joseph is also a cool guy. I'm tempted to put him in Nobody too, but like Joseph is like zanier, I guess, than Jonathan is. He'll make fucking decisions that aren't like the heroic option. You know what I mean? Like he not more nuanced, but like sometimes he'll like in the beginning of part 2, he just like shoots up a fucking restaurant that had a vampire in it just cuz. Like he's just
nice as
he
you
pulls
do.
out a machine gun and just starts fucking blasting people or blasting this fucking vampire. And like there's people around. He didn't give a shit. Yeah, he's wacky and he's fucking all over the place. I like him a lot more in part 3, where he's like old man Joseph. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about him. He's cool though. I kind of like him. He's okay. Part 2 overall kind of lame, but Joseph's the most redeeming quality of it. Dude, okay. The only reason I really put all the JoJo's on this list, Josuke, Higashikata, this guy fucks. His smile brings me joy and happiness. Oh my god, Josuke. He's such a fucking darling. Because he's just a kid. You know what I mean? So like all these other fucking anime protagonists, at least in JoJo, all the other fucking protagonists are like, they have some, I don't know, kind of have something to prove. They have like this goal. They have fucking, and Josuke does have a goal too, but like, we'll get to it. They have this like they're like traveling the world. They're traveling throughout the country, and Josuke's just a fucking teenager. He's just like a normal kid sitting around at home. He plays video games and shit. He fucking fucks around his town, and he fucks around Morio with his best friends. And it's just, like he's just a normal guy. But his life is super fucking weird, so he just deals with it, and he deals with it in like the coolest way possible. He's really nuanced. I really like his relationship with Joseph, because Joseph is his dad. This guy is his dad. But Joseph had an affair, basically, with some random fucking woman in Japan who is Josuke's mom, and he just left Josuke. He abandoned him. So like Josuke when he like during the series, Joseph is like an old ass man. Like this dude is like, I don't know how old he is, but it's not looking good. Let's leave it at that. And there's a point where like Josuke has to save Joseph, and he's conflicted about it. So like his relationship with his dad, because it's like I have to be there for my dad when he was never there for me. Like what the fuck? But then like his relationship, like he grows closer with his dad, and he wants to forgive him. You know what I mean? And his motivation, like because the part 4 is a murder mystery, so like he wants to solve the murders happening around town, but like he's still like letting other more capable people handle it. You know what I mean? Like the adults in charge of handling the situation, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna let them handle it. But he's not afraid to get in there. He's not afraid to stick up for what he believes in. And he's so fucking great. He's like me in high school. That's what I equate Josuke as. He's like me in fucking high school.
Did you actually smile like that in high school?
When I was out of it. But like, no, like he's a delinquent. And like, I fucking love delinquent characters. Most of my favorite characters have like some type of delinquency to them. And Josuke is fucking awesome. He fucks, man. And finally, we get to Jotaro Kujo. Finally, we're done with all these fucking JoJo characters. Jotaro is a Chad. He's a pretty big Chad. Cause he's this like stoic badass. he doesn't say like a ton because he's this. Oh shit, my phone. Somebody's texting me. Anyway, he's this like prototypical 80s protagonist where it's just like he beats the shit out of people, he says cool one-liners, and that's it. But he has more depth in the fact that he is traveling the world to go stop Dio. Almost all of his friends die. His best friend Kakyoin dies. And just the emotions that he does show trying to handle the situation, like him kind of almost slowly breaking down over the course of fighting Dio, is really interesting to see, because for the most part we've just seen him be stoic, but like when he's pushed to his absolute limit and he shows these different emotions, like the anger that he has, and it's cool. He's cool. Part 3 really slow at parts, but for the most part I enjoyed it. His fight with Dio is awesome. Like, it's awesome. Fuck, we're not coming up on any fucking characters that you could talk about for a while. Yeah. I think our next one's Kilo, really. Kagami Taiga, Kirk on a Basket. Kagami is pretty cool. He's a total Chad. He's it's tough to say with him because he's a normal shonen sports protagonist, kind of, but like, because everybody else at the start of the show is so above him, he doesn't give a shit. He does not care. He plays with reckless abandon. And seeing him, process like the game, and again learning more about the game, is really interesting to see, especially the way that he goes about it, because at one point because like him and Kuriko, who is like technically the main character, but they both share the spotlight, when he, because they're like this dynamic duo, at one point Kagami is just like, yeah, I'm done. Like, for right now, we're not partners anymore. We're going our own way. Just so, like, both of them individually can get stronger and they don't have to, like, rely on each other. So, like, the way he goes about it. And he's really aggressive in what he wants. And he makes it very apparent. And the theme, he is basically the embodiment, him and Kuriko both are the embodiment of teamwork, which the show is like the theme of the show, basically, or one of the major themes of the show, like most sports anime. But yeah, he's cool.
Non sequitur.
Okay.
I just see Lelouch and I think, damn, Suzaku isn't on here.
Oh fuck! I forgot about Suzaku.
We can do an honorary Suzaku mention at the end.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk about him when we talk about.
Yeah, we can just talk about.
Because I think they're probably both in the same spot.
Honestly, Suzaku might be
better though.
He might actually be better.
I actually liked Suzaku a lot more than I liked Lelouch.
Because we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah, we'll get to it.
I'm just making notes, by the way.
Okay, cool. Kageyama Tobio. Kageyama is the only fucking reason that I watch Haikyuu. He fucks. This guy fucks. And I wish they had more, like, put a lot more focus on him, because he does have a lot of focus on him, but, like, I wish there was just more. Because he isn't, like, the primary protagonist, but, like, the things that Kageyama goes through are very, like, they're not normal for shonen anime, because he is the type of person he's always serious. When he's playing the game, he's always serious. He doesn't really know how to have fun. almost it's kind of weird. Like, of course he does have fun playing volleyball, but like he's really socially awkward and he doesn't get a lot of social cues. Like, people congratulate him on doing something and he's just like, yeah, like, yeah, I'm fucking awesome. Like, I don't know, sure. Like, like, and like even the other like super strong characters in the series, he doesn't see them as like above him. He always sees himself as an equal. Like, anything you can do, I can fucking do. Like, I don't care. Because he plays hard and he puts his heart and effort into fucking volleyball. And he gets mad a lot. Like, he gets mad a lot, and he like in this most recent arc, like there's a point where he's literally like yelling at his teammates. Which he always used to do. Like, he would just try and like push people and just be like, you have to go faster, you have to jump higher. And his team in middle school basically hated him, even though he was like their best player. They hated him, and they were like, we're not listening to you anymore. To the point where even though he's their best player and their offense is literally focused around him, it got so bad that their coach was like, Kageyama, you're fucking out, dude. Like, yeah. So like, you really feel like his emotions when he doesn't he again, he has to like learn how to like trust people again, and he has to learn how to like not be so overbearing. And his relationship with basically their main rivals in season 1 and 2 is really cool and interesting, because like his I guess his like senior, the guy who he played under in middle school before he graduated, hates him because he is like this prodigy, and his senior was like a guy who always has to put so much work in, put all the extra work in, but he's still super smart. He just doesn't have the talent that Kageyama does. Yeah, Kageyama is so fucking cool. And again, he's another character that I'm like, that was just me in high school. Because, like, I know exactly the feeling of, like, playing with other people that don't love the sport as much as you do.
See, you keep saying he's like me in high school, but he's in the category he fucks.
He fucks, yeah,
so
you're right. I don't fuck,
know,
yeah.
That can't be.
Yeah, that can't be completely true. Well, he is a prodigy, and I'm not, so...
Wait, you're not a basketball prodigy?
I'm not a volleyball prodigy. He plays volleyball, my guy.
Oh, yeah?
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, no, but like
wrong sports ball.
His attitude, I totally get it. Like, I can completely relate to what he feels. And I'm sure anybody else who's fucking played a sport and really wants to win, and your team just isn't putting in as much effort as you, like, anybody can fucking relate to that. Like, you can get behind his mindset really hardcore if that's happened to you.
Yeah, if you've ever done a group project with people who didn't care.
Or yeah, just anything like that.
Anything. Literally anything.
Yeah, he's cool. Kenshin. I'm not going to talk a lot about Kenshin just because I made a video on him, and if you want to go check that out, you fucking go check that out, because it's cool.
You put him really high.
Kenshin is one of my favorite fucking protagonists. Like, I'm tempted to put him in Inferno Cop, because he's so fucking good. But there's also points in the anime that, like, the manga don't get to, which are, like, the really good parts. And I mean, like, I guess I could just put him up there just because of those things, but he's just so different from every other shonen protagonist. He really is. Like, he comes into the story knowing more than he should, probably. Or, like, knowing more than, like, the general protagonist does. Because, like, it's not that he doesn't change and his ideals don't get challenged ever, but it's like, he's been through a war. Like, he's killed hundreds of people, probably. And, like, he's going to spend his entire life in atonement for that. And especially because of the OVAs, he's another, like, Goku-type character where you really do get to see, like, his entire life, even up until his death. So he's really cool. Again, Not gonna talk a super ton about him just because I made a video about him. So go check that out if you want to know more about Kenshin.
Wait,
because it's really good.
before we move on, I haven't watched Rurouni Kenshin. I've read part of Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah.
What I can say is that I think he's interesting. I really like the reverse blade. I think that's kind of a
fucking God.
super interesting.
That shit is so classic, man.
It's part of his philosophy and also his armament, which is like it's so unique and interesting. Yeah. I just kind of like it. On the flip side, I don't find him particularly interesting. I mean, I think Rurouni Kenshin can be interesting, but sometimes it gets a little repetitive.
Yeah, which I totally understand. I totally understand.
That's not really Kenshin's fault, because I think the interesting parts are just sort of... Because it's super interesting, because basically he fought for the Imperials, the winning side in a civil war.
Yeah.
And now he's known far and wide. He tries to hide it, but he's basically known far and wide as this infamous killer.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, like... He tries to hide it to a certain extent, but that's only really in the beginning of the series. Because for the rest of, I mean, like,
although he carries a sword around, so
yeah. And like people come after him all the time. They're like, "Hey, you can't have that," and he's like, "I can't hurt nobody with this." Like, you fucking see this sword? It has a reverse blade. I can't do shit with this. What are you talking about? But even then, he's like the most badass character ever. Like, and there's like. Again, the scar that he has on his face reminds him of his past, and the blade that he carries reminds him of basically his future. Like his future of like this is my life now. Will be my life until I die. Always atoning, and even then in the OVAs, a lot of people shit on the Reflection OVA, which is basically where he dies. And people are like, it's really out of character for Kenshin to go back to the military to try and fix whatever problems they're having. But I'm like, not really. Like, he's spending the rest of his life in atonement. Like, I totally get the fact that he wants to, like, even with his son, he has a son, and he has he has his family, and he leaves them because he's like, yeah, I need to go do this now.
I think also that it's an interesting... This doesn't really matter, but there's a political undercurrent to everything, because the society he lives in is the one he in part created. Yeah. So all its problems are like not his fault, but that's the society.
He fought for it. Yeah.
And so when people are corrupt, when bad things happen, it's just like, well, you know, the guys I fought for they aren't perfect. Yeah. They're running the country. They're doing what they can, but they probably fail all the time too.
Yeah.
And they do.
Without a doubt. And like, and people ask him for advice on his philosophy and all these things because he is, and generally, like, he's 28. So like, he isn't old. He's older than the general shonen protagonist, but he isn't old. But he's still so wise and smart that these government officials, like these other guys, do ask him for his advice and opinions, and he gives them honestly. And he, like, again, he's like, he knows everything that's wrong with the society that he helped create. But he doesn't make any excuses. He doesn't say, like, oh, this was, the best alternative to whatever the fuck. He's just like, yeah, no, I know. But he's always striving for something better. God, Kenshin's so fucking cool. He's so fucking Kino, bro. Alright, Killua. Let's fucking talk about Killua, man. I don't want to put him in he fucks. But I don't know. Where do you think? Do you think he fucks? I wouldn't personally put him in he fucks, but where do you think?
I think he's fine where he is.
Yeah?
Killua to me... I mean, people are usually they usually say that Gon's the less textured of the two. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I like Killua better than I like Gon. I think I like them as a pair.
I definitely like them as a pair, but I don't. I think Killua carries the pair because his arc is more about his friendship with Gon than Gon's is with his. Like, you know what I mean? Like, him being friends with Gon is more important to his character than Gon being friends with him.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think Killua... So Killua, paradoxically, is more interesting at the beginning, I think, than the... No, that's not even true, though.
Yeah, I don't think
because
that's true either.
Even in the Chimera Ant arc, where he's not as astonished by the bloodshed, because, you know, he comes from a family of assassins, what's interesting is how much he now cares about Gon in a way that wasn't present at all before, because you can really see them become friends over the course of the series, which is awesome. And you're right, that's more key to his arc, because his arc isn't so much becoming stronger. It is, in part, but it's mainly becoming more like a person instead of just this unfeeling killer.
Yeah, like, you have to understand, like, before the series started, Killua was abused by his family. He was abused, and he was made not to care. He didn't give a shit. And then he grows up in this environment where he just becomes this cold, not caring killer, and he meets another kid his age, and everything changes.
Yeah. But so Killua, his main thing during Chimera Ant arc isn't because he does care about Gon now. And you know, before he would be like, yeah, I'll just kill you, and that'll be the end of it.
Put some dude's heart in a sack in like 2 seconds.
But
you
I
remember
think,
that?
Yeah. Oh my god,
that shit was so fucking cool.
Oh my god, Killua's he's not.
He didn't even care.
He's like, yeah, you're dead.
He didn't care.
I think it's amazing that Killua is basically telling Gon to stop.
Yeah.
Where he was the one who would basically be the first one. He'd be like, yeah, we'll go to violence right now.
Yeah.
But Gon's beating the shit out of Pito, and he's like, you need to stop. Not so much because he cares about Pito or like non-violence, but because, you know, Gon's literally killing himself.
Yeah.
But I think that's an interesting reversal. And I also think it shows that Killua, and then later Killua literally breaks into his family's manor. He's like, alright, but if you stop me, you'll all die. Which is just like, it's insane.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And Gon was out of it for that whole time. Killua basically
it just
kind of carried
himself,
it.
Yeah, and I, again, like I said before, like, I like Killua a lot more than I like Gon, just because I think he's more like, he has more going on throughout the entire story rather than Gon, who just has, like, everything at the end. And the best thing about Hunter x Hunter, which is, you know, their relationship, is, again, like, it's more important to Killua. Because, like, yeah, Gon has a friend, but, like, Killua has a friend. Like, that's the difference. Like, Killua has a friend. That shit is super important to him.
That was alien to Killua, whereas Gon, it was natural.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if it's fair to characterize Gon as having nothing going on until the end, but definitely less, and definitely... Well, he wasn't... Killua definitely did more of the developing in the first part. Even if Gon... Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Killua is interesting. He has really great moments throughout. A lot of Gons are more concentrated near the end.
Yeah.
Although, yeah. I think that's a fair assessment.
I think that's fair.
So Killua was cool.
Killua is cool.
He's also a badass. I love Godspeed.
Dude, bro, Godspeed is honestly, like, the most hype shit in fucking... Like, there's a difference. Like, What Gon does to Pito is like absolute badassery. But like Godspeed is like, oh fuck. Yo, shit.
Okay, but Killua, so Killua was fighting one of these insanely powerful, like one of the lieutenants, and he wasn't damaging him, but he was faster than him, which is
like,
just
you couldn't
like
really do anything to Killua.
He was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Killua he's a monster.
Dude,
he's awesome.
Killua is pretty, and like like Gon had to go into his future self or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Killua is like what, 12? 13? Like,
yeah, he's like Godspeed. To be fair, he's a Zoldyck, so they're kind of, infamous assassins.
Yeah.
Who literally go toe to toe with Crawlo.
But like, still, bro. Still.
But these guys are the Chimera Ants.
Yeah.
I think they would probably destroy
most of the Zoldicks.
They would probably destroy the Phantom Troop, to be honest.
Oh, dude, fucking yeah. If fucking Kurapika could take down the strongest, like, physically strongest one in Uvogin, or whatever the fuck his name is, then yeah, the Chimera Ants would, like, dude, they would sweep the Phantom Trope. I don't care what anyone says. Kirito!
Remaster.
Kirito! I can't get enough. I can't get enough of hating Kirito, but I love him so much now. You know what I mean?
Talk about a character who doesn't change. Like, there was, I don't know, who wrote that? Who wrote Sword Art Online?
Sorry. What the fuck is his name?
Slipped out of my brain.
Yeah, I can't think of... Oh, fuck. What the hell is his name?
I guess it does.
I don't fucking... Akira Toriyama. Go. Just keep talking about...
Don't insult Akira Toriyama
no.
like that.
No, fuck.
Whoever wrote it, they decided what Kirito would be like, and not only does he not change, he doesn't reflect, he doesn't think about anything he just does whatever he wants. And, like, it's just so trite and hackneyed.
Dude, Kirito... Okay.
Reflection is so far... It's like the Andromeda Galaxy. It's not even in the same, like, universe, honestly. It's like, I don't think Kirito's reflected a day in his life.
Okay, here's the thing. He doesn't really reflect, but he feels sorry for himself. You know what I mean? Because he lets his fucking friends die or whatever. He lets what's-his-fuck die. The blue-haired guy die in episode 2. And then the guild that he joins... He basically gets them killed. Not basically gets them killed. They fucked up and were stupid. But, like, he lied to them about his power level. And he blamed himself for lying about his level. And then, like, felt bad about it. But here's the thing about that. After those episodes, he didn't care. He didn't care anymore. He's just like that shit basically never happened. It was negligible to the rest of the story of SAO. And fucking Kirito goes throughout the entire rest of the story being this fucking... The guy, everybody wants to suck his dick, everybody wants to jerk him off, he's the coolest fucking guy ever. When the chips are down and there's an ass that needs to be kicked, Kirito is there.
And he'll do it solo in a game that they say is
MMO.
designed for bosses to be fought with, like, huge groups of people.
Just fucking one boss takes out, like, swaths of these fucking random soldier guys. That Kirito is like, wait, don't go fight them, but they don't listen or something? I forget. But then he's just like, alright, whatever. And then he pulls out, like, he fights it with Asuna for a while, and then they're losing. But then Kirito pulls out dual wield, and then just fucking starts wrecking this thing, all by himself. So he let those guys die, and let Asuna basically get her ass kicked, until he's just like, alright, whatever, now I can just pull out the thing that I could always do. And you're like, what, really?
Kirito is a caricature of what a 13-year-old thinks is cool.
He's a power fantasy.
It shows. Look, I'm not saying kids are smart, but, like, I didn't know what was cool when I was a kid, and you know what? I still don't, but I know this. Kirito sucks. I can't even watch SAO anymore. Not even as a joke.
Oh, I can. Dude, I am in love with Ordinal Scale.
Oh
I am
my
in
God.
love with that movie. Because that movie is so fucking funny. Holy shit. Especially when Kirito goes on his fucking, his little week-long getting swole adventure where he's just taking down bosses all over the place and people are like, yo, dude, why are you playing so fucking hard? And he just balls too hard with those kids. He just balls too hard with them, man.
God damn.
And he fights this dude. Normal Kirito, they're not in a video game. Normal Kirito fights a dude with cybernetic enhancements. IRL, cybernetic enhancements. And Kirito beats the shit out of him. What the fuck?
Yikes.
So funny, man.
Yikes.
Holy shit. Ordinal Scale is like the best SAO property. I swear to God, it's so funny. Kuroko. We'll get Kuroko out of the way because he's basically the same as Kagami. Except Kuroko's... I like Kuroko more just because of his past relationship with the Generation of Miracles. And like... his relationship with each of the members is fleshed out to, I mean, a pretty good degree. So you really get like how how much of a group they were, but they weren't really a team. It was kind of fucked up. And Kuroko, he decides like, I'm different than these guys. I'll be different. So yeah, I like him a lot. And again, him and Kagami, their duo is the embodiment of what the show is. So yeah, he's really cool. I don't really want to talk a lot about him just because I want to get to Lelouch. So let's just fucking go off about Lelouch, man. Let's just go off.
Lelouch is, guys, Code Geass is my favorite anime ever. Obviously, I think he's a guy.
Yeah, we're just gonna, I know, because I'm not gonna argue, because this is your pick. I put Lelouch on here for you, so, like, I'm not gonna fucking argue.
Why do I like Lelouch so much? Because, so... let's go back a little bit to Edward Elric and, like, his goal.
Yeah.
So Lelouch's goal was always to destroy Britannia. That never changed.
Yeah.
But, basically, while he's setting out to do that, he literally just keeps getting slapped by all the realities of what he's doing. Like, when he kills Shirley's dad, and he's like...
oh my fucking God.
And Cece literally calls him out on it. She's like... did you think people you didn't know weren't gonna die? Are you retarded? You're just a child. And Lelouch is like, it's different. And she's like, I promise it's not.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like this. And he's like, fuck, okay.
Especially when other characters, like, when Shirley dies? Bro.
Oh my God.
Oh my fucking God. Lelouch, like, shut it the fuck down, dude.
And she remembered... oh, because he wiped her memory.
Yeah, because he wiped her memory.
Because he was like... he didn't want her to get involved. He was like, I probably can't protect everyone, but I'm going to wipe your memory. So that, like... and then... and then they get... So as R1 goes on, it's just sort of this escalation. Because he kills tons of people.
Oh, yeah.
And he's fighting with Suzaku. And he ends up with Euphemia, and this is one of the greatest moments in the series. I know people give this moment so much shit, where he says, you kill all the Japanese, and that's a bit questionable.
Kill all the 11s.
But what he does after that happens, he's like, well, I guess I have no choice but to use this to accomplish my goal, even though it's
he
the worst thing.
abuses it. Like,
he literally abuses it.
Like, again, that moment in itself is, it's really contrived and really, really stupid.
Really contrived.
But the idea that Lelouch then builds off of his fucking, like, his fuck up.
Catastrophe.
Like, literal catastrophe. Innocent lives were lost that he didn't mean to do that.
He was about to give up.
Yeah, he was like, about to, like, be like, alright, let's listen to Euphemia.
He was like, alright, Euphemia, you got the right idea. I feel like I can trust you. And then he destroys it with his basically out of control power.
Oh my god.
That he asked for, by the way. He wanted that.
Yeah, exactly. And then he fucking, like, you can say Lelouch is a dick, and you can say he's a scumbag, but, like, he knows what he wants, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he'll do anything to get it.
He is the ultimate ends justify the means, except with Lelouch, it's not like he just breezes through things and never he gets punished every single day for what he is spouting, and he still goes on and just keeps pressing forward despite the fact that his beliefs literally lose him so much.
I don't think anyone hates Lelouch as much as himself.
I think Lelouch hates himself the most.
Yeah.
By far.
And, like, that's never, like, a thing that's brought up in the series, but, like, it's so fucking obvious, you know what I mean? Because everybody talks about, like, oh my god, I hate Zero, blah, 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 this and that, and it's like, you see Lelouch just, like, feel the utter burden of his actions all the time.
The only people who should kill are those people who are prepared to die. He was ready to die from the moment he ordered all those people.
Yeah, from the moment he fucking...
He was like, alright, we're setting
from episode 1.
He was like, that's fine. I'm willing to die. And then, oh my god, R2 rolls around. Because Charles rewrites his memory. He's like, fuck you, you're gone. And not only does he turn the tables on all those people, he, in what's the most insane, like, twist and turn, he actually becomes the emperor with Suzaku at his side.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Oh my god, that is just... Everything he does, he loses the Black Knights. This is, like, the nadir of Zero's existence. He's like, so I built this entire organization from scratch. They all hate me, and also the entire world hates me. I guess I just... And then he's like, should I just die, like, right here? I mean, this is it. I mean, I failed. And then he basically thinks, no, I have to confront Charles. I have to, like, even if this is the end, then fuck it, that'll be the end.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, like, Lelouch is ends justify the means. He says the only people... If Lelouch had actually lived at the end of the series, I think it would be right to say, oh, he's a hypocrite, you know?
Yeah.
He said all this shit, but now he's just the ruler of the world. But...
Which is why it's like, what the fuck? Because they bring him back in one of these fucking movies, right?
Like, which is why you don't think about that. And you don't acknowledge it exists, and you just...
Like, I give Code Geass a lot of shit just because, like, it does have all these layers about, like, death and destruction and fucking the ramifications of that on a society. But also it can be, like, really fucking stupid and campy. Like, it can be really stupid and campy at times. And, like, there are so many contrivances in this show, but, like, again, I think even still, like, the ends do justify the means in Code Geass. Like, even in a storytelling perspective.
And, dude.
Because as long as we're getting these, like, really impactful character moments and these really impactful, like, just these, like, guttural, like, heart-wrenching moments. Like, when fucking Suzaku, like, when Euphemia dies and Suzaku's holding her dead body, you're like, fuck. Like, I love Suzaku, and I feel like he's fucked.
Let's talk about Suzaku a little bit, because I think what's amazing about Suzaku is that he's basically a mirror of Lelouch. He also hates himself.
Yeah.
And he literally wants to die, says so often.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I want to be dead. But what's amazing about Suzaku is that he goes into the Britannian military. He's like, I'm going to change things from the inside. And by the end of the series, he's like, yeah, I'm a hypocrite.
Oh,
I'll literally betray anyone.
Oh my fucking god.
He literally becomes Lelouch and then takes his place.
And kills him.
And, like, he realizes basically all along why Lelouch did what he did. And he's like, I understand. And they sort of come to that understanding at the end. And then they rip the Black Knights in half.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, Lelouch built this entire organization. It's like, man, it really sucks that they forced me to use this plan. Blows up Mount Fuji. Kills all of them. Almost all of them.
I just also love the fact, because you mentioned the part where you're like, yeah, Suzaku basically wants to die. He tries to get himself killed on multiple occasions by going after Lelouch. Like, people are like, you will die if you do this. And he's like, I know. And Lelouch, in, like, the complete, like, most, like, yeah, you're fucked, Suzaku. I have you. You're my pawn. Because he's just that smart. He commands, I command you to live. To want to live. That shit was mind-blowing when I first watched Code Geass, bro.
By the way, when Lelouch he, like, anoints his helmet in blood, he's like, this Geass is, like, one that it's basically a wish.
Yeah.
It all comes full circle, man. It's insane, because it's like, instead of commanding him to do something, he's like, you need to accept this. And then he does, and Lelouch is like, this is your curse, though. Just like it was it's basically him passing on the curse that was Geass to Suzaku, who has to live even though his dearest wish is to die.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And Lelouch, we haven't even talked about Nunnally. We're just...
Oh yeah, we haven't even mentioned her.
We haven't even mentioned Nunnally. Because Lelouch is doing it for her.
It's all for her. Literally everything is for her.
And that's another thing that's... like, about his philosophy. He'll literally throw everything away to protect her. And when she dies, that's what pushes him over the edge, by the way, to confront Charles.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, she died? Great. I don't have a reason to be alive
I don't
anymore.
have a reason to live. She was it. That was his reason to live.
Lelouch, I mean, he does nothing
to,
but
like,
think.
Keep going. You know what I mean? That's his only reason to keep going. To, like, through all of this bloodshed, through all of everything that he's done, the lying, the trickery, like, just the utter destruction that he fucks Japan up with.
Oh, yeah.
All of it was for his little sister. And when she dies, it's like, all right, I don't have... I have
that's
nothing
the
else.
second... That's the lowest point of R2, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's basically like, oh, so literally all the suffering I caused, every single death, it was for nothing.
It was literally for nothing.
Which is just like, oh my
crazy.
God.
That shit is crazy.
Lelouch, I mean...
Oh my fucking god, bro.
He's amazing because at every step he's punished for his philosophy, but he just... And not in, like, the shonen protagonist way where they're just like, power... Well, we're talking about Natsu later, but power of friendship! And they always win.
Yeah.
But with Lelouch, it's not the power of friendship. It's just, this is the calculation I'm making.
Yeah.
And, like, there's more to say. There's more to say. There's so much more to say. But he's a god. And he does change.
Yeah.
Like, his ends stay the same, but he starts to realize, I think, just how fucked up, like
what he's
became.
doing.
He comes to realize, like, both Suzaku and him come to realize how fucked, like, the way they've chosen is, because that's the truth. There is no right answer to the question they're asking. It's like, Lelouch said something like, should you use evil to destroy evil, or should I just let evil win, because I can't defeat them without using evil methods? And everybody's like, oh, but either way, evil remains. And he's like, that's right, there's no right answer. And then he collapses an entire city block. So, like...
he's a gem. Yeah.
Suzaku's not here, but I'd say he's in the same place.
Probably. I mean, honorable mention Suzaku, probably also an Inferno Cop. See, like, that's the thing about Code Geass, like, they have a really big cast. Like, considerably, they have a really big cast. But, like, I don't really like a lot of the characters. For the most part, they're just, like, bit players who, like, are more about, like, Lelouch, like, what they mean to Lelouch, like Shirley.
Yeah.
Or, like, a Rolo, even. But, like, the main characters, you know, Lelouch and Suzaku, like, those guys are so fucking good like, they're such good characters that they carry the show.
Dude.
Absolutely carry the show.
There are some side characters I like, but for the most part...
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong.
Oh, dude, they're fucking... They carry almost... Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Holy shit, like, yeah.
Because with the high school scenes that are retarded, like, there's juxtaposition.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Then there's tonal inconsistency.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
And Code Geass dances on the line.
That's why I don't, like, there are scenes, that's why I'm like, Code Geass is super awesome. I love Code Geass, but, like, I dock it points because I do think it's, like, really tonally inconsistent.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, dude, what? Really? Like, Lelouch fucking buries people. And then he's talking about, 2 episodes later, he'll be like, oh, but I have to make the cat parade at school. And you're like, what?
Oh, my God.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Cool, Code Geass. Like, that in itself is, like, a little too far. All right, fucking Maka Albarn. Maka Albarn, I want to put her, she's a Chad. She's, like, so, like, not Code Geass, fuck. Soul Eater ends in a way, at least the anime does, the manga has a different ending, but Soul Eater ends in a way that everybody was, like, really upset with, but I didn't mind it all that much, because it revolves around the theme, because her whole character, I mean, it is kind of like a coming-of-age story for her, at least, where she has to learn how to grow up and, like, work with others and be brave. Bravery is, like, the biggest theme of the show at the very end. And she kind of just defeats the main bad guy because she's brave. Because she kind of just gets over her fears. And people are like, what the fuck? Like, there are all these other abilities that she has and fucking... And it's like, they didn't end it with that at all. It's just kind of like, she punches him really hard in the face and then he explodes. Like,
nice.
That's about... Like, yeah. So yeah, people really were like, oh my god, you should have, like, dude, my brother, fucking, when we first watched Soul Eater, he went off about how much he hated the ending. I'll always remember that. It was the funniest shit in my life. But yeah, like, I can dock her points for that just in some cases, but because her character arc is really strong throughout the series. Especially her relationship with, like, her dad and her partner Soul, who we'll get to later. But yeah, her entire character revolves around bravery and, again, you know, working within this group that they have. And she can kind of be, like, this stuck-up bitch sometimes. Like, she can just be, like, a bitch, like, totally. And people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this is your fault. Like, the bad things that are happening right now are definitely your fault. Like, and it takes her time to, like, realize, like, yeah, I need to grow up, and learn how to be better. So yeah, she's cool. I kind of dock her points for the ending, but again, like, I still like the ending of Soul Eater, so fuck. She's really cool. Mob. So, okay, context. Last night, me and you and a couple of our other friends watched half of Mob Psycho Season 2. And we basically saw... I mean, not the best parts, because there are other really great parts of this, like, the second half of the second season. But, like, dude, that shit with his girlfriend... And he's, like, crying, picking up her fucking pieces. Mob is such a fucking god. I don't care what anyone says. He is the best version of a person. Like, you can't make a better person than Mob is. Like, you literally can't.
What's genius about, or part of the genius of Mob Psycho 100 is, you know, in every shonen series, usually the protagonist is like a good person who just does things and they're like, oh yeah, I'm a good person, and they make it look easy.
Yeah.
Mob is picking up these pieces of paper and the girls are like, what are you doing? You're such a fucking creep.
Yeah. What are you loser? She rejected you. Like, it was just a dare, dude. Like, it was like we were lying to you.
And
like,
you can see Mob struggling with this and being like, look, I think it's important. And he's like hesitating.
Yeah.
But he says it and he keeps picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
And underlying that is a whole nother level because he's a fucking big balls Esper who can literally destroy probably level cities.
Yeah, and that's when we get into Mogami, where that, like, in retrospect, that moment is so important. Like, you know what I mean? Because that whole, like, 2-episode fucking arc that he has is about, like, hey, like, if you didn't have your powers, you'd just be a fuck-up. Like, everybody would pick on you. Your life would suck. But you have these powers. You can do something with them. You can take revenge on those types of people. And you're like, holy shit. Because he almost does it. Oh my god.
Dude. I mean, and I just think it's so amazing because he's like, how do I put this? Everybody thinks they're special.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks that they are just one of a kind, you know. They have something that other people don't. And that means they don't have to try and improve themselves. They don't have to try to...
Oh my god, yeah.
But there are people who just... They think they don't need to improve. Mob literally has... powers that make him a demigod.
Yeah, he's literally one of the strong, if not the strongest character in the series. Like,
he might not be the strongest, but
yeah,
like he's a god compared to other psychics, basically.
Yeah, oh, without a doubt.
And so, everything Mob does... He questions himself all the time. He always thinks that he's worse than the people because he's just... What's communicated well is how normal of a teenager he is. He's not sure of himself, and he gets... Dude, that thing where she was like, I asked you out on a dare, that hit different.
Yeah,
that hurt.
You were like... yeah, we were watching, and she was like, yeah, I asked you out on a dare, and you were like, oh my god. Oh.
That felt bad. Oh, you know,
dude, that shit bad. Hits different.
Because, you know, there are lots of things that are jokes in school.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're the butt of some of these things, that shit hurts.
Yeah. And, like,
it's hard not to feel for Mob.
And, like, I get emotional when I'm watching anime. Like, I feel that, like, what the characters are going through. And this rarely ever happens in anything. I don't cry ever. I rarely cry when I'm watching something. And the first episode of season 2, I was in tears. I was like, oh my god, Mob, you're such a fucking legend, dude. Like, you are, like, it's not like he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? He doesn't always know what he's doing. He is always questioning himself, and he feels like he needs to improve at all. He joins the Body Improvement Club, and he's like, I need to get physically stronger because that might impress this girl that I like. Like, and that's so fucking real. You know what I mean? And he's just like, and rarely ever does he use his powers. That's the big thing. Because when he gets, like, the girl's paper back, he uses his powers, which he, again, so often rarely ever does for, like, normal shit. And that's how you know it's important to him. That's how you know that this means something to him. Because he's using his powers for it.
Because even when he was getting... Some thugs come up to him and they're like, yo, can you bring us some money tomorrow?
Yeah.
His brother uses his power. Because one of them starts levitating and, like, choking out.
Yeah.
And it's like, But Mob isn't doing that. It's his fucking brother.
It's his brother doing that. Like, and his brother's willing to stick up for him, but Mom's like, oh, no, you don't need to do that. Like, put him down. Like, he doesn't want to hurt these people.
Also, I think it's amazing when one of the members of the Body Improvement Club comes over and he says, look, you gotta stand up for yourself. Like, we know you're strong enough to do it.
Yeah.
And it's not, like, in terms of his psychic powers, just in terms of him.
Just in terms of his personality. Like...
Which is, oh... And then when he gave that speech and he just said, Jack all.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it was so fucking good.
Because you feel, because like, that's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if you get this way, but like, when embarrassing things are happening, you just want to look away. You know what I mean? When you know a character's going through it, you're just like, oh god, I don't want to look, because you feel so bad. That is like one of the biggest, feels bad, man, moments.
I don't know how they do it, but the people animating this are absolute geniuses.
Studio Bones.
Bones, they're absolute geniuses at animating and making me feel emotion and just communicating what I should feel and, like, making it so that I do feel it. It's astonishing.
Oh my god. And, like, we haven't even talked, like, this is basically us talking about, like...
This is just the second
season, which is phenomenal. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. But, like, even in the first season, like, dude, his fight with Teru and, like, him deliberating over, like, quote-unquote being special, like, Teru is a person, he's, like, a complete foil to Mob. He's a person who abuses his powers to get what he wants, and he is popular, and he is the biggest, coolest guy in school, and Mob is just like, no, I shouldn't use my powers to fight you. Like, Teru's like, I'm going to establish my dominance right fucking here. I'm going to kick the shit out of you, and you're going to fucking take it, because I'm special. I'm the protagonist of this story. And Mob is like, I'm not going to use my powers. Like, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to hurt you. You should never use your powers against somebody else. And it's like, just holy shit. The fucking, like, how scared Mob is, you know what I mean? How scared he is in that situation. Because Teru is trying to kill him. He's actually trying to kill him. There's a part where, like, Teru is literally, like, strangling him. And Mob is, like, running out of breath.
And Mob feels real fear, not only for himself, but because he's pretty sure if he uses his powers, he's just gonna, like, blow this guy out of existence.
Yeah. Because, like, he hurt people in the past by accident with his powers. So, like, he doesn't want to do that again. Like, you can feel, like, the pain that he feels while he's like, deliberating over stuff like this. Like, Mob Psycho has some really hype moments, like, animation-wise, but, like, all of the best moments are emotional moments. Like, all of them, because you know who this character is. You know what he's going through. You know how he feels. And those feelings are so fucking real, dude. And just the fact that he gets his powers from his emotions. I think that's where it fucking ties in together so beautifully. The fact that he gets his powers from his emotions. And everything, like, when he is fighting Mogami, and normally, like, throughout the entire series, whenever he's gone, like, quote-unquote berserk mode, when his, you know, emotions have reached 100, it's like he's this different beast. It's this other Mob that you don't even know, and it's because it is like this type of, like, rage that he has from, and he just lets it explode. But the Mogami fight is so fucking awesome because it is these positive emotions. He gets overwhelmed by the fact that he knows that he's fortunate enough to have friends that he can rely on and people that he can go to fucking get out of his bad situations when he needs to. Like, oh my god, that shit is so...
And he's like, there's this just constant restraint and fear of his emotions, but then when he finally does something, or it's just that much more powerful.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Oh my god. Mob, you are so fucking Kino, bro. I love him. I love him to death. Naruto! So we've already done a Naruto tier list, and if you haven't seen that, go check that out, because we talk about him I don't even think we talk about him a lot in there, but I mean, we do talk about Naruto overall. So if you want to, go check that out, you can. But like, goddamn, dude. I mean, do I want to put Naruto and he fucks? Yeah, probably. I'll put him in he fucks because I don't think he is that. Because there are like decisions that I'm like, what the fuck were they thinking? You know what I mean? Especially with the whole fucking Destiny thing, like where he's the reincarnation of Ashura, and I'm like, dude, all right, whatever.
It's not really Naruto's fault as a character. It's just
it's not, but like
it's just
it just weakens his character a little bit because I'm like, he was just a guy that he just struggled a lot, you know what I mean? And this feels like the struggle isn't as important because he is this reincarnation that's like, he is basically like, hey, you're going to do this thing.
I wish the nine-tailed fox felt more like a drawback as well. Because it just felt like...
I think it feels more like a drawback in part 1. Not so much in part 2.
You're actually right about that. Because every time he uses it...
Yeah.
I mean, he goes basically berserk.
Yeah.
And it feels like he could definitely hurt absolutely everybody. He doesn't give a shit.
There are times in part 2 where it does feel like that. Like when he fights Orochimaru and when he fights Pain especially.
Oh, yeah.
Where he is just like this rampaging monster.
But later that completely disappears.
Yeah.
Because he gains control of Kurama.
Yeah,
so it's like...
I get it, but like, yeah. But yeah, like everything in Naruto, like he is the pinnacle, he is the most ideal character that you can have in his society, which is something I said in, our other tier list. But like, comparing him to everybody else on this list, you just know Naruto. Like, you know what he, like, compared to every other character on this list. I don't give a shit who you are. You just know Naruto. You know what he's been through. You feel it. You know exactly where he's coming from. He's an orphan. Everyone hates him. Like, everyone. He's alone. And he still perseveres through that shit. You know what I mean?
What makes Naruto better than Deku? Can we explore that a little bit?
What makes Naruto better than Deku?
Because I think Naruto is much better than Deku, and yet I'm trying to pinpoint why I think that.
I don't know. Like, because they're almost similar characters. I mean, they are similar characters in a sense where they do have this kind of outcast, like, of the burden of being an outcast, kind of. I think, again, the reason that I like Naruto more, probably just because he's more proactive than Deku is.
I was about to say, I don't feel like Deku ever feels too much like a fuck up. I mean, a little bit in the early part of the series, but like Naruto...
That's because he doesn't have powers.
But Naruto in part 1, like, he is constantly, like, fucking things up. On the bridge, he literally screams his presence out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was fucking hysterical. My god.
Oh my god.
He constantly wins by the absolute skin of his teeth. Like, just with some horse shit.
He's barely making it.
Yeah. He's not mature at all.
No.
But he's just like, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. But also, I think Naruto grows up in an overall darker setting than Deku does. Like, here's the difference between My Hero and Naruto. Because in My Hero, it's like, you have Deku, he gets bullied at school. Okay, cool. You have this character who gets bullied. He can't do anything. He can't do the thing he wants to do so badly. But, like, it's not necessarily his fault that he can't do it. I mean, like, genetically, yeah, it's his fault, but, like, it's not like he's not it's not like he's dumb.
Yeah, he's not smart enough to do it.
It's not like he's not smart enough to do it. And even when he gets his powers, it's like, yeah, he breaks his limbs all the time, but that's because he literally can't control his powers. His body is not physically able to control his powers well enough yet. But like the society that Deku lives in is hero focused. Like it's like, yeah, you want to become a hero. And like, okay, yeah, what does that mean? I mean, they don't really comment on it a lot, but like it is commented on it, like at least in the beginning. But for the most part, he lives in a normal society. Like the heroes, like they're just celebrities, basically. That's just basically what they are. They're celebrities. The difference between that and Naruto is that Naruto, again, he is this outcast, but he's not just outcasted by like his classmates. He's outcasted by his entire village. There is almost no... There's one... Aruka, that's it. He can go to one guy. He can go to one guy and talk about his problems. You know what I mean? That will, like, get it. That will understand. And he lives in a world that's a lot darker than you know, the world that Deku lives in. Because he's a fucking child soldier, basically. Like, he's seen death. He sees death in the series. His friends die. And, like, going through part 1 is really important. Like the building blocks of his character are really important there because it is really dark, especially, like, the Land of Waves. What, like, that's almost a lot darker than the rest of Naruto comparatively, I think. But, like, he's still, like, he carries himself in this sense where he's like, yeah, I'm never gonna give up, normal shonen type things, but it's like he's trying his best. Like he's trying his goddamn best. And he does fuck up and he barely makes it. But he's always gonna give it his fucking 110%. He's never gonna go back on his word. He follows his code. He follows his ninja way.
That's kind of true about Deku though too. I mean, throughout My Hero Academia.
Yeah, but again, Naruto changes a lot more than Deku does. You know what I mean? Like, the biggest change that Deku goes through is getting his powers. Because he had the mindset of a true hero before he got his powers. Then he gets his powers, and it's like, alright, now he needs to grow into being that true hero. Naruto, like, he starts off the series... And he desperately wants somebody to pay attention to him. He wants this so desperately that he's gotten the idea in his head that he's going to become the Hokage, the leader of the village, the one that everybody respects and acknowledges. This kid that at the beginning of the series everyone hates. They hate him. They think he's a monster. And he goes from that to proving himself and gaining people's respect, and his worldview is constantly challenged in these different arcs. Even as early as Land of Waves, his ideals are always being challenged, and you know he realizes that like, hey, if I'm going to become Hokage, like I need to deal with the harshness of the world I live in, and that's what makes him like, you know, this kind of idyllic ninja that. He is trying to deal with these harshness, and he makes compromises sometimes. But, like, for the most part, he plows through with his ideals and is like, yes, I'm going to do this.
I actually think what makes Naruto better is not necessarily the content of his struggles or anything like that. I think it's that Naruto in general has a stronger supporting cast than My Hero does. And what I tend to think is, like, when Naruto gets to interact with guys like Neji, for instance, in part 1,
yeah.
When he interacts with Sasuke, this is somewhat true with Deku and Bakugo, but in Naruto...
I think it's a lot less than Deku and Bakugo. Like, you have, you have one... It's their fight. Like, their fight is the only time that they really acknowledge their quote-unquote rivalry. That's the only time, really.
But I think overall... all the supporting characters are more nuanced and interesting especially in part 1.
Yeah.
And Naruto bounces off of them in a way that makes his character more interesting.
Yeah.
So I already said Neji. I'm trying to think of another example. Maybe
I think Shikamaru.
Shikamaru is a good example.
I think Shikamaru definitely. I mean, all of these like kind of like all of, like the primary antagonists to some extent, like Orochimaru, not really, but like Obito, Pain.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true too. Naruto,
The villains.
like, let's think about the villains
The
in My Hero.
antagonists.
I mean, you have All For One, who really doesn't bounce off of Deku in the slightest, I'll be honest. He really has almost no relation to him. I don't even really think... What's the blue-haired guy's name?
Shigaraki?
I don't even really think Shigaraki has much in common.
I don't
with it.
think Shigaraki has any connection with Deku.
It's
I
just
don't.
like... But Naruto, I mean, not so much with Orochimaru.
Yeah, again, like I said.
But with Haku, for instance, with
Haku,
Gaara.
With Gaara, oh my god, with Gaara.
Oh my god, yeah, with Gaara. Like, Gaara was like, that was huge. It was like, this is the path I could have... If they're
He
trying
could
to
have
do,
easily ended up like Gaara.
If they're trying to say that about Shigaraki and Deku, I guess what I'm saying is I don't buy it. Because Deku from the very start was never, like, he was not like Shigaraki.
Yeah, and like Shigaraki did have a quirk. Like, you know what I mean?
He had a quirk, and I mean, let's say Deku was in the reverse situation. I mean, maybe he would have been like that, but I just think...
This is kind of why I think the idea of evil Deku is, like, villain Deku is such a cool concept. Because it does take... Like, of course, it takes your preconceived notion of, like, oh man, Deku evil, like the true hero, you know what I mean? But, like, also, it shows... I feel like it's a more realistic depiction of what would actually happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's this kid who for his entire life is pushed down and bullied and literally can't do anything. Like, it's not like Mob where he lives in a normal society and he's the abnormal one. Like, Deku is abnormal, but to the point where he can't do anything. He can't better himself, really. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, he could train and train and train, but he would never be able to be...
a hero.
A superhero.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. You need a quirk.
Yeah. And it's like, the fact that they take, like, Evil Deku takes that concept and it's like, yeah, what if he just gave up? You know what I mean? What if he just gave up on being a hero?
Well, yeah, or...
And it's like, and something bad happens, and he's taken in by people who accept him because they are outcasts too, like Shigaraki.
I think it would be interesting if he was more like, not like Stain, but a version of Stain that wasn't as incoherent. So, whereas he rejects heroes, he'd probably try and... I don't know, obviously he probably wouldn't kill them, but like I think he would be lashing out against a society that... Because... God, I hate when they say Stain's ideals in the show. It's like, Stain's ideals! It's like, the dude was wearing a bandage, his eyes looked like triangles.
He looked like a fucking
He looked
killer.
insane.
He looked like a psychopath.
Like a murderer psychopath. And like, I feel like that would be so much more believable coming out of someone like Deku, who says, you know, heroes, like, they talk a lot, but in the end, a lot of them are just out for their own benefit.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to show people that someone like me who has no quirk...
Yeah. Like, if he almost judged everybody else around him.
Yeah.
But, like, in that sense, like even with, like, characters I just felt like Ochako and Ida, like, if he judged those guys for because they they do things not because they're heroes.
Yeah, Ochako wants to have money to make her family comfortable. Like,
yeah, it's like it's a good thing. You know, she wants to give her family a comfortable life, but at the same time, it's still selfish.
Yeah.
Deku's ideal is completely selfless. Like, we were talking about Naruto at one point. But yeah, if he really, like, challenged others and inspired them to be better by judging them. You know what I mean? I think that could be something interesting, but like I don't know. Deku just has to be like a fucking muffin. He has to be like this cute, quirky guy that fucking everybody loves. So they don't really give him. That's something that I like more about Naruto. He has an attitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not. He can be an asshole sometimes.
Yeah, like he can be an asshole.
He's not like lovable like Midoriya is. He's just sort of. I mean, he is, but at the same time, he's like.
He's not
fuck
cute.
you, Sasuke. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
He's not cute like Midoriya. That's the biggest difference. Deku is cute, and everybody nowadays just wants fucking a cute character. I goddamn hate it. I fucking hate it, bro.
Tanjiro vibes.
God damn it! I goddamn hate Tanjiro. We're gonna get to Tanjiro. I fucking hate it. All right, we'll be done. But no, I at least done talking about Deku. I do love the fact that Naruto has this like attitude to him, and he like one of the lines that always sticks with me is when when Sasuke calls him a scaredy cat. And he's like, "Are you scared, bro?" Like, and then in the Forest of Death, he stops Orochimaru's giant fucking snake, and he just looks up and he's like, "You scared, bro? Are you scared?" Like,
his fucking red eyes. He's like, "Hey, you scared?" And Sasuke, like half beaten to death, is like,
he's like, "Holy shit!" Like,
oh, what a moment!
Yeah, that shit's awesome. Those are the moments that make you fall in love with Naruto. Who's next even? Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, Natsu.
I didn't think we were going to talk about Natsu next. Natsu, okay. Let's be real here. I like Natsu sometimes. I don't think he's a fuckboy. I think he's a nobody at least.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the series, I liked him. I liked him up until the Eurasian Sace arc, because that was just the biggest load of horseshit I've ever seen.
Natsu never. He kind of suffers from fairy tale here. The bad case of the fairy tales.
Time out. All right. I don't know what it is with Hiro Mashima and friendship, but like that's all his stories are about. That's all they're about. I don't get it. I don't get the whole thing. I was talking to a friend the other day who's been reading Eden Zero, which is the newest Mashima manga that has come out in last year. I think it came out last year. And the main character of that is named Shiki. And Shiki's whole thing is that he just wants to make friends. He literally doesn't care about anything else. He just wants to make friends. And even with the villains, he's like, he always tries to be their friend first. and then if like the villains fuck with his friends, then he's like, all right, now I'm gonna kick your ass. But like I don't get it. Like, what is Mashima and friendship? Like, what is the correlation? Why is he? I need to pick this man's brain apart, because everything boils down to friendship. Like, there was
maybe as a kid he just didn't have.
He didn't have any friends,
so he
he needs to write
thinks it's
friends.
like the silver bullet to solve all the world's problems. Yeah. I don't know. It's truly amazing how often the word, dude, if you took a shot every time somebody said like friendship, you would be dead. You would be dead. Friends, friendship, that's it. Those are the only two words. That's the only two words you need, and you would die.
Oh my god. Like, I just... And again, it's not that he's not stupid. I mean, he's dumb, but like his character itself isn't stupid, because it's like, yeah, there's nothing like baseline wrong with Natsu. It's just that he's boring, he's one note, and
that one note gets played
every time. Oh my god, that's the only note they're playing, bro.
Literally.
So like, I'm not even gonna go out of my way and be like, these are the problems with Natsu's character. But like, Holy shit, dude! Just friendship. Like, what the fuck, Mashima, dude? Fuck. Oh.
Can he have any motivation other than anything?
Like, he wants to find Igneel. He wants to find his dragon dad. But for most of the time, that is never his main priority. In, like, 2 arcs, it's his main priority. Not even. In, like, 1 arc, it's his main priority. Until he finds him. Holy shit. Oh my god. I just can't. I can't with Natsu.
It's just, yeah.
I really can't. Ryoko.
Ryoko Matoi.
You've been watching Kill la Kill recently. Where do you want to put her?
Where do I want to put her?
Yeah. Cuz it's been like, let me think. It's 2020. I last watched Kill la Kill in like 2017.
Can we scroll up slightly? I'm hovering between Total Chad and She Fucks, which she does, but like
She fucks alright. She does fuck.
But like, when I think about Kill la Kill, what interests me is like, goes to Honnouji Academy to figure out what happened to her dad. And she actually does that before the end of the series. Like, she basically accomplishes what she set out to do.
She accomplishes her goals.
And then she's like, oh, now I need to, fight the life threads, the world-ending thread, etc. I think her relationship with Senketsu is interesting because it's like, because she goes from like, she's embarrassed by it. She's afraid of herself, not Senketsu, and then she is afraid of both of them because she's kind of like, we are both monsters, and that's what I like that it's just this changing dynamic the entire time. She's also a punk, which is just amazing. Yeah, she's like, yeah, I just beat the shit out of people.
I love giant scissors. I love delinquent characters. I adore delinquent characters. And the fact that there's a female delinquent character who is also really hot, bro, shut it the fuck down. Like,
I also think it's genius how they basically say, it's because I was ashamed of you that I wasn't as strong as I could be. Everything they do is centered around clothes, okay?
Yeah.
But it's all basically like, what's holding you back is it shame? Is it fear of yourself? It's all about what holds people back.
Yeah.
And as you overcome those things, you slowly grow closer to like your best.
I also like the fact that, it doesn't really comment on, like, sexuality in general, but, like, the fact that the characters are, like, stripping. Most of the characters are fucking stripping.
It is the beach!
Yeah, and there's literal nudists in the show. I do appreciate that to some extent, just because it's something that you don't really see very often.
Well, flagrant sexualization in anime, you see that all the time.
I mean, yeah, but not to this extent, where it's a part of the character's arcs.
It's self-aware.
Yeah. Oh, it's very self-aware.
It makes use of it, because it's all about clothes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like, and I actually love how they're like quoting the Bible. They're like, what did people do when they first ate the fruit of the tree of knowledge?
Yeah.
Oh, they covered themselves. Which I was like... Oh, shit. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I just think it's like, they're talking about clothes, like, that sentence is going nowhere.
Yeah.
Going nowhere.
It's just like,
I need more time to process it, and by the way, I'm not even finished.
Oh, yeah, you haven't even, but you're basically there.
I'm at, like, episode 20, something like that.
Yeah, you're
But I need more time to process this, but for now, She Fucks or Total Chad.
I'm gonna put her in Total Chad. Because, like, we're talking about a lot about, like, the clothes aspect of that. And, like, yes, her character arc does facilitate that. But also, that's just kind of the theme of the show in general. And I don't know what it is. Like, I wish there was, like, a little bit more that I could remember that was, like, really, like, like, her character got me. You know what I mean? So, again, yeah, like, I still like her a lot. She's still a fucking total Chad. But, yeah. That's that. Saitama! Now, I don't know about you. Because I know you like One Punch Man a lot. And maybe I'm underrating Saitama. But I think he's just a cool guy. I'm not really... Like, I liked One Punch Man. I thought it was cool. But, like, Saitama himself, I'm like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I think that's right.
It's not like he's generic like Hinata is. I mean, he's still a good character. And he does do interesting things, like the fact that he is like he's basically depressed. He's basically depressed and because he's too strong.
I haven't seen the second season.
I haven't either.
I will say, I felt more emotion when Moomin Rider was getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, me too.
Than I did at any point.
Yeah.
When Saitama just destroyed people.
Moomin Rider?
Although I did feel it when everybody was around him and like pissed at him. I can't remember exactly why, but he was like...
yeah, because
he was like, that guy warmed him up for me or something.
They blamed or it was like they blamed Saitama for, like, they called him an asshole just because he beat some guy, I forget what the guy's name is.
He's like, oh, he warmed him up for me.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I felt the injustice of that moment.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a good moment. But, like, when Moomin Rider was getting shit beat out of him, I was like...
Yeah, and he was making his, like, final stand
that
against...
shit's real.
Sea King.
He cycled there.
Dude, Moomin Rider is Deku without powers.
Dude, literally.
That's what Moomin Rider is.
I think One Punch Man is good, but I don't know if that's because of Saitama. Well, it is because of... Okay. It is because of the way he is, but not because of his character.
Yeah. Not because of his personality.
Right.
I don't think. And again, like the moment that we were talking about before, where it is like he kind of does like shoulder the burden of like he's being like, yeah, fuck you guys, like I don't care, say whatever you want about me, I do this shit for fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I wish that was more.
Yeah, I really, because like he is kind of just bland. And, like, maybe that's the point, but, like, I don't know, I don't really like it all that much. I don't connect to it all that much. But he's still fine. I think he definitely is, I know you haven't really seen either of these two, but I think he's definitely the weakest character in this tier. At least for me, personally. Yeah, we don't really have to talk... Dude, we don't have to talk about him, especially when we're talking about my boy, Senku!
The science
Senku
man.
fucks!
The science man.
Senku fucks! And let me tell you, like, there is nothing about Senku that, like, there isn't, like, this world-changing ideology that he has. There isn't, like, this, like... There is, like, with, like, a Naruto or something, or a Kenshin, there isn't, like these super, like, no, don't get me wrong, there are, like, a really lot of good emotional moments in, Dr. Stone. But, like, Senku is just, like, his personality is just so, like, charismatic and energetic, and he just doesn't give a shit about most of what other people say. He's just like, yo, I'm smarter than you, like, I don't fucking care, like, it's all just about his personality. Like, for me, entirely, Dr. Stone is so much fun to watch because Senku is such a fun character.
Yeah, I guess You can't. You're right. He doesn't really have an ideology.
Besides the fact that he's like, I'm going to save everyone. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and by extension, you could say maybe he wants to restore society.
He does. He wants to restore society.
And that's why Tsukasa is like, I have to kill you then.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's his career. He's not exactly Shakespearean. Like, there are emotional moments, but he's a scientist. His entire thing is like, even though he does care.
Yeah. And let me just interject real quick. When he has those emotional moments, like when he's standing on what is literally his dad's grave, it's a mound of graves, and his dad is at the very top. It's like, and you see him tense up, and he, like, you can tell he misses his dad. Like, he does, without a doubt. And he's glad he could help his dad get to fucking space. But that shit, like, that when he does show those emotional moments, that's when you, like, know that, like, the character is the character, this means something to him. Just like when Mob uses his powers, it's almost like that.
Yeah.
Like, this means something to this character because he rarely ever does show his emotions. At least, like, seriously, you know what I mean? Because Senku is a jokester, and he pranks people. Like,
he messes with people,
all the time. But yeah, like, and the way that fucking, like I'm saying, man, like, his relationship with the fuck is his name? Chrome. Yeah. His relationship with Chrome is like, where, like, Chrome is, like, the only, like, scientist, whatever guy that's in the village. And his relationship, not taking him as, like, a mentor, like, because they're the same age.
He kind of is, though, because...
But he is, but he isn't. It's more like, just, like, he's just a friend that is, like...
into science.
Like, they're two scientists. And he's like, you can do this. You know what I mean? You can fucking be just like me. I know you can. So yeah, I really like his relationship with Chrome. And I really like his juxtaposition with Tsukasa. I really do. Because Tsukasa is, like, he's kind of this, like, naive, like, he is strong, and he is a leader, kind of.
He's pretty smart, but he is naive.
But his ideals are naive. For how, you know, like, his age. And Senku is just like, yeah, no, like, here's what I'm, like, he like lays the rules down. He's like, I'm going to save everyone. Like, you crushing these stone guys, like, he tells his friends, like, he's literally killing them. Like, he's killing people. And he blatantly tells Tsukasa, he's like, I don't care, like, what you think, really. He's like, I'm going to save everyone.
I miss his OG friends. I want them to...
Dude, next season, man. They're coming back.
They're
coming back.
I want to see them. But I'm ready.
Yeah, I am ready, too. Oh, my God. Like, people were talking about Dr. Stone for years when the manga was coming out. And I was like, all right, like, sure, when it gets an anime adaptation, I'll fucking watch it. Like, whatever. I'll check out what all, like, the hubbub is about. I did not expect to like Dr. Stone this much. Dude. Like, I didn't. Like, that and Mob Psycho 2 were, without a doubt, my favorite shows of 2019. And, like, Mob Psycho got me, like, emotionally. But, like, I probably had more fun watching Dr. Stone. Because, like, I was just like, I was excited for every episode that came out. I was like, yo, I can't wait for the next episode, you know what I mean? And I didn't really watch it weekly just because I suck at watching anime weekly, but, like, every time I fucking sat down and watched a couple episodes of Dr. Stone, I was like, yo, this shit is fucking Kino, let's go.
I gotta catch up on the manga. I kind of fell off that bandwagon.
See, second season, man, this year. Shinji Ikari. Shinji's a weird character for me because, like, he's a bad person. He's a bad person, but, like, that's kind of the point. Because it's like...
Is he that bad of a person?
I mean, he's not, like... He's not, like, Gendo, but, like, hear me out. Like, so, like, all these other people are, like, in any of these fucking... Like, Total Chad, he fucks, Inferno... Like, these are characters I want to root for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even Lelouch. At
time, like, there are points where I'm like, yeah, fucking Lelouch, let's go. I don't really feel that about Shinji at any point, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but, because like, he's kind of a wimp.
He is.
And
he's a coward.
And he pities himself.
Yeah.
And, like, there are reasons, but yet he wallows in it. But that's kind of the point.
But that's the point. So, like, when you have a tier named He Fucks, I can't put Shinji.
You can't put Shinji in He Fucks.
But I think he's as good as these characters, you know what I mean?
That's literally the point.
Yeah.
He doesn't fuck.
But maybe that's just my fault for naming the tier set. Because his character is super layered. And it is... You know, it has these emotional moments where you really get to feel his isolation and his loneliness, and just how out of place he feels. That's the biggest thing. He's out of place, especially when he is this, like, I don't want to say prodigy, but he does the Avas better than anyone else.
Yeah, and he just does it as if it's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, he just does it.
And there's even an episode where Asuka's struggling.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, my numbers just keep going up.
Yeah, his numbers just keep going. And that feeds into Asuka's character arc, too, where she's like... She needs somebody to... They're fucking the total opposites, where he's like, he feels alone, he feels isolated, and he wallows in his self-pity, you know what I mean? Asuka, she feels alone and isolated too, but she desperately wants somebody to pay attention to her. Desperately, more than anything else.
Shinji's more like to shut himself away.
Yeah, that's what he does.
And he literally does. He tries to run away multiple times.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but then he just goes back.
But he keeps getting pulled back, yeah. And I mean, he doesn't fuck, alright? He does not fuck. But he fucks.
But he is with like, the guys who do.
He's up there. His character's with the guys who do fuck.
But he don't fuck.
He don't fuck at all. He definitely, dude. Like, Asuka literally, like, there's a point in the series where you're like, Asuka is definitely interested in Shinji, but that's just kind of because she wants to just be in a relationship.
Stockholm syndrome. They live in the same place. It's just like
she wants to be in a relationship, but like Shinji literally can't. Like he almost mentally can't understand like being in an emotional relationship like that with another person.
Yeah, I mean
but that's the point of the show, you know. He has to learn to do that. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine where he is. Alright, fucking talk about Shiro, because I put him on this list for you, so just tell me where to fucking put him.
So Shiro, I mean, he gets a lot of shit, and sometimes I feel like it's justified, but a lot of the times I actually don't. I think he's more interesting than people, because he's basically someone with survivor's guilt, because in the first Grail War, not the first one, but the one before him, that Kiritsugu fought in, he was the only one who survived the Grail pouring out. And he just walked through basically a burning town where people just died around him. And he was like, literally, why am I alive? I should be dead. So he's like Suzaku in that sense of just wanting to be dead and wanting to atone for it.
Yeah.
So that's his character. He like goes around helping people with this inane shit because he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to help as many people as I can because my life is was forfeit from the second I stepped out of there.
Yeah.
What's interesting about Shiro is, like, so he has his objective, which is to become what he calls a hero of justice. It's like just a superhero, basically. Someone who saves people. Basically, like, Kiritsugu didn't when he was a mercenary, but he's literally confronted with himself if he took that path alone.
In Archer.
Yeah. And Archer literally says, I know what path you're going down, and I'm literally going to kill you to stop you from doing it. I am you. And Archer is everything that Shiro wants to be, but he hates himself even more than Shiro does.
And that's the interesting thing. Sorry to cut you off, but that's the interesting thing to me about Shiro, even though I don't really like Fate Stay Night all that much. That's the interesting thing to me about Shiro is that you do have like his present and future self in the same show, and they don't want the same thing.
Yeah, and what's amazing about Shiro is how stupid he is. Like how... Because, like, if your future self came to you and said, you need to stop, you need to not go down this road.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably listen to him.
Yeah, I'd probably fucking listen to him.
But instead, Shiro's like, no. I'm going to keep doing what I was doing, and I'm going to be different from you.
Yeah.
Which is just like, I don't even really know what to make of it, except it's just a rejection. So, if you, at the end of it all, it's like, oh, he's helped by his bond with whoever and doesn't become that, or it depends, but like if he ends up with Tosaka, that's why he doesn't become Archer.
Yeah. And
Archer even says to her at the end of Unlimited Blade Works, just look out for him, make sure he doesn't end up like I did. But it's just so amazing that Archer is in the show.
Yeah.
This is kind of a dual Archer and him, because Archer is him. But he just doesn't want the same thing that Shiro does because he thinks Shiro is wrong. So Shiro wanted to save as many people as he could. Extremely utilitarian style, I might add. Well, no, actually Shiro wants to save everyone.
Yeah.
What Archer
Still
realized...
Still utilitarian, by the
way. Yeah. What Archer realized is that you literally can't do that. So... When he would be, let's just skip the counterforce stuff, but when he would go he would be sent out to save people.
The counterforce. I forgot that was a thing.
When he would go out to save people, he'd kill terrorists, he'd kill whoever, and he was like, oh, I had to kill these people to save more people. And this was the same thing that happened to Kiritsugu, who killed people and then realized he just kept killing people and it never stopped. Like, he just had to keep murdering people to prevent more people from dying.
Yeah.
But Shiro, I mean, he's stupid because I think in the end, Archer is right that you truly can't save everyone, but Shiro's like, no, there's gotta be a better way. And Archer lets himself be killed because he just decides to believe that this Shiro can be different from him. Because it's kind of fucked up how time works. Like, who knows what actually... But that's why I like Shiro. Where do I think he belongs? I mean, he hovers between Cool Guy and Total Chad. I'd chuck him in Total Chad because, like, he is interesting. More interesting than people. I mean, he is stupid. But I think it's interesting.
That's the thing that gets me about Shiro, because, like, I think he does have interesting aspects to him, but he's so fucking milquetoast for most of the series, and he is such an idiot throughout the series that I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, come on. Like, he just does this, and says the stupidest shit imaginable. I mean, we could throw him up in Total Chat. I don't care, but like
he does say some dumb shit.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to chalk that up to the translation or like what they were thinking of Type Moon.
I have no idea, dude.
Yeah,
I
sometimes
honestly don't.
Sometimes it gets real questionable.
Yeah, like I said, I'll leave him up entirely to you, but yeah.
Oh, dude. Simon. They gypped that guy.
Simone! Oh my god, at the very end of the show,
That was
they
such-
fucking gypped that
such a
man
bastard
hardcore.
move.
And he fucking knew it would happen too. Oh my god. Simone fucks, alright? Simone goddamn fucks. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, I don't think anybody is gonna disagree, but Simone fucking fucks. It's hard for me to put into words just like the overwhelming amount of badassery that is Simone the Digger. This man has this man has the strongest power in the... It can literally warp reality. And the people who are like, guys, don't fuck with this power, because, like, it'll literally destroy the universe. He's like, shut the fuck up, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And then it doesn't even, like, the shit that the anti-spiral said didn't even fucking matter because he's so badass. Like, that's... Oh my god.
Dude, we're in the middle of an ocean that absorbs spiral energy. Simone's like, what if we generate so much that they just can't absorb it all? And it's just like,
And then
genius.
they fucking do!
Genius!
And then they do!
Oh my god. The number of people who died at the end truly saddened me, though.
Oh my god.
And you could feel every single...
Yeah.
It was bad. Well, less so for some than for others, but Simone's really about...
Speaking of just, like, he goes in, he kills the anti-spiral, figuring that Nia would die. And for the sake of everyone, he does it anyway. Complete
Even though
self-sacrifice.
He literally loves Nia more than anything.
More than anything else. More than anything else.
And she, I mean, basically pulled him out of his little rut.
She pulls him out of a rut. Like, you think about this, Kamina and Nia never met each other.
That's fucking
That's
wild.
fucked up.
That's wild.
Fucking crazy. And Simone, like, he's... Especially the way they animate him, he's fucked. He's in the worst position he's at. Like, I don't think his parents' death meant more to him than Kamina's. Like, I really don't.
And, like, everybody's looking for a leader on the ship. What was the yellow-haired guy's name? Keaton. Keaton's like, alright, I got this. But then, Simone just, he gets up, he's like, alright, now here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And Keaton's like, yeah, you should be in charge.
Yeah, as soon as Nia, like, changes his world perspective and, like, pushes him to keep going, he's like, he just steps up and he's like, I'm not my brother. I'm not my brother, and I never will be. I can only be myself. Fucking awesome. That shit's so fucking cool.
And just, Simone is like, he's not like Shinji, but he is so weak at the beginning and, like, sort of
pities himself
pities himself a little bit. And yet, like, then you got Kamina, and he's like, okay, Kamina dies, and Simone is just like, oh, dude. And then the part after where they're in the... Dude, of all the things that were gonna happen, I truly did not expect them to skip forward, like years.
Oh, yeah, like, fucking,
then,
7 years or something like
Rossio was in charge.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening?
Oh, my God.
And that's, by the way, genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
Absolute genius.
I
His
can't
relationship with
believe it.
Rossio is like, it's on another level.
When he goes to save because he's about to kill himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh,
he fucking literally is like across, like, I don't even know, he's out in the middle of the fucking desert. He uses spiral power to teleport to where Rossio is. What a fucking Chad.
with Keenan.
Yeah.
Oh, but then, okay, so just a little aside about Rossio.
Yeah.
He literally learns the lesson of, like, you know Shiro, how he couldn't save everyone?
Yeah.
Rossio literally learns that lesson, and he's like, oh, I've doomed everyone. Because he chose the utilitarian way, and it was a trap.
Yeah.
And it was just like, so basically the message is, I assume you just have to save everyone. You have to just, but, like, you know what doesn't gel with me there? like, in the end, I don't know if I agree with that. And that's kind of like when I go back to, like, as all things do, Lelouch. Because Lelouch never made any pretenses about saving everyone.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, yeah, my hands are covered in blood.
Yeah.
And they always will be.
I don't know if Simone necessarily is like, I need to save everyone, but he is like...
Maybe not that specifically, but he wants to push for, I guess, a different solution or just something else.
He wants the most, optimal solution, like the best solution for everyone, to be the one that he, like, the thing that he chooses.
Yeah.
And because he's literally the strongest character of all, like, of anything, he literally does. Like, yeah.
Dude, this man generates so much damn spiral energy at the end. He's actually powering, like, entire ships.
They're fucking throwing galaxies at each other, bro. That shit is
like,
so
that's
hype.
Fucking wild.
And, like, I think not Senku. I think Simone is another character, almost like Senku, actually, where it is just, like, he is pretty straightforward, but, like, these emotional moments that he has, his attitude, you know, his arc as a character, it makes a lot of sense. It's all there.
Oh, and how he works with Viral at the end.
Oh my fucking god, Viral is so fucking cool, dude. I love Gurren Lagann's so cool.
God damn.
I fucking love that shit.
What a fucking amazing series.
What an amazing show.
And Simone, I mean, he's not riding it. He is part of the glory that is Gurren Lagann.
He's leading it,
He's
bro.
leading that shit.
Yeah.
He's charging forward.
I love the scene where they're all, like, in their own little dream worlds, and he talks to Kamina, and Kamina's like, when did you get taller than me? You know what I mean? That shit hit me close to home, man. I was like, oh, this boy grew up. Oh, man.
He was like, you need to get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Oh
He just sends him on his way. He doesn't even care. He's like, yeah, don't worry about me, man.
Dude, some of the deaths in there hit me hard, though. Like,
Keaton's death hit me fucking the hardest.
God. I was like...
His and Nia's.
Nia hurt.
I literally, like, after I watched the last episode of Girl, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, what do I do now? Like, I didn't want to watch anything else. I didn't want to do anything else. I was so distraught. I was like, I can't... I just gotta go lay down, dude. And, like... I couldn't. I was like, I don't even remember. I was like with my mom at the mall, and she was busy, and I was watching Gurren Lagann just like sitting on a bench, and I was like, oh, I can't even. I'm in public. I want to cry, and I'm out, bro. I'm fucking out. I'm done.
Gurren Lagann established a more beautiful relationship that made me feel just actual suffering in 10 episodes than Sword Art Online did in, like, how long was that show? 26?
24, 25 episodes.
Who gives a shit? I didn't feel a damn thing.
Reki Kawahara, by the way. I forgot that was his name.
Reki Kawahara.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The guy that wrote SAO. I forgot to mention.
Nia, look, that shit hurt. That shit different.
That shit hits different, bro.
Oh, fuck.
Soul Eater Evans. That's his name.
What a name.
I think he's up there with Maka. Here, let me just put them right next to each other. How about that shit? There you go. I think he's right there with Maka. Like, their relationship is part of the reason why I think they work as characters so well.
Is Soul Eater worth watching? Incidentally. By the way, haven't watched Soul Eater.
Soul Eater, dude, okay. I don't think I've ever seen... There's, like, 2 shows that I'm like, this is my fucking aesthetic. It's, like, Soul Eater and, like, Mecha Actors. Those shows are, like, my fucking aesthetic. And Soul Eater is so... Dude, Soul Eater's so fucking good. Oh, my God. But, yeah. Soul is this character who... He really... He is kind of this, like, brash asshole... But he also puts everything on the line for Maka, basically. Like, so, like, how the relationship works is that, like, some characters can turn into weapons, and he turns into a scythe. And the people who wield those weapons are called Meisters, which is what Maka is. And so, he, like, in every situation is completely willing to put his life on the line for Maka because weapons protect their Meisters. If you can't do that, you're a fucking failure. That's basically what he thinks. And so he suffers from his doubt, because there's also like a demon in his head, basically, that is telling him like different things, like, oh, you should feel this way about this way, or this thing, you should feel this way about this certain thing. And for the most part, he shrugs it off, and is like, no, I gotta do this, I gotta stay focused. But like towards the end of the series, especially when like the thing that what's going around called the madness is getting to him, which is getting to like most of the characters. But he really like falls into darkness and is, like gives up to this demon that lives inside of his head, who it's never like, it's kind of ambiguous, which I do really like. It's kind of ambiguous. It might not even be like an outside force. Like, it is kind of like an outside force, but like for the most part, it just seems like his own self-doubt and the questions that are getting to him. And you also see like Maka pull him out of this, this darkness that he's in. And that, I mean, yeah, their relationship just works really well because they play off of each other so well, and they mean so much to each other. So yeah, Soul Eater, definitely worth watching. The anime is by Madhouse, I think. It's either made by Madhouse or Bones, I forget, off the top of my head. But yeah, it looks amazing. Aesthetically, it's really amazing. The characters are all fucking great. It's good. It's worth a watch. All right, I'm just gonna go off real quick about Tanjiro because he's a fuckboy. I hate this character. This is Tanjiro, by the way, if you can't tell, because I chose a shitty picture of him and it cut off his face. Oh my god, Tanjiro sucks, dude. Tanjiro fucking sucks. Like, everything. Like, he's such a fucking confusing character. Everything that he does is so fucking confusing. Because, like, where do I even fucking start with this guy? Oh my god. I hate him more than Kirito. Because at least Kirito's like a funny meme now. Tanjiro just makes me mad. Tanjiro is this character who, his sister turns into a demon. And from that point, he, like, after that, he, like, feels bad for demons. But, like, here's the thing. He doesn't want to kill demons initially. Like, he has... the first time he almost kills a demon, he almost has a panic attack over it. And then we have this, like, 2-year time skip, and it's like, whoa, like, what is he not scared of killing demons anymore? Like, what's going on with that? It looks like he's grown a lot. Like, what is his personality like now? And it's like, it's the same shit. He just kills demons now. Like, it didn't even fucking matter. So, like, the way he's characterized is just really confusing. It's like, why did you give him a moment like that if you weren't going to play off of it? But instead, what's replaced with that is that he likes praying for demons, and he likes feeling sympathy for demons because they're a product of their circumstances. Like, it's like, they couldn't, like, they got a bad deal, you know what I mean? They got turned into demons.
Yeah, that sucks. I hate it when that happens.
But, like, they're still killing people, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
They're still killing people in innocence. They're just eating people. They're just like, yeah, that's what we do. Tanjiro is like, I'll kill the demons. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'll always fucking kill them. But I'll feel sympathy for them because, like, they can't help it. Here's the thing, though. They definitely totally can. Because there are other demons in the show that don't kill and eat people. And Tanjiro, the show is using Tanjiro as a vehicle to, like, apologize for their actions. You know what I mean? It's like Tanjiro is almost like forgiving them because they couldn't help it, but they definitely totally can. Like, and that's like, it's disgusting. It's honestly disgusting. You're apologizing for mass murderers. That's disgusting. Like, I'm all for a sympathetic villain, but like these characters aren't portrayed in a way, and the logic of the show doesn't make them seem like they're sympathetic because it can be different, and they don't hold like they don't hold an ideal that's like conflicting with Tanjiro. Like, there is no really like ethical dilemma with this. It's like they're murdering people, innocent people, and just literally because like you're like, all right, cool. But Tanjiro just wants to forgive him and be like this lovey-dovey guy and be cute and kind, and his kindness. Oh man, he's such a kind guy. I fucking hate him. I I don't give a shit if he's kind or not. I don't care. His kindness is like, Tanjiro's personality doesn't fit in the narrative that Demon Slayer is trying to tell. Because it's trying to give you this narrative of, look at all these fucking demons. They're all over the place. We have to kill them. We have to slay the demons. But it's like, oh, Tanjiro, he forgives him, though. He feels bad for him. And, like, cool. That's fine. I can see if Tanjiro felt bad for them because they didn't get, like, the help that, like, his sister got, you know what I mean? I would be like, all right, that's a little more acceptable. But he's not doing that. He's just like, oh, they're demons. They can't help it. They kill people. They can't help it. They're hopeless creatures. Fuck you. Fuck you, Tanjiro.
I've only seen 2 episodes of Demon Slayer, and I got bored, so I didn't continue.
Oh my god. Oh my... Yeah. I had to sit through the... Like, dude, several times while watching Demon Slayer, I had to physically stop watching the show. Not even just, like, pausing it. I had to turn it off and be like, I'm doing something else. I have to do something else, because the show makes me so fucking mad. That show makes me so goddamn mad. I watched the whole fucking thing. Oh, God. Oh, what is my life?
You gonna throw up?
Maybe. Thinking about Tanjiro makes me, dude. Holy shit. And, like... Oh, my God. No. I'm done. You know what? I'm fucking done. I'm done with Tanjiro. I'm fucking done with him. I'm done talking and thinking about Demon Slayer forever. I'm done.
Alright. That's it.
Tatsumi, you fucking talk about Tatsumi while I fucking recover.
Tatsumi, I mean, he's sort of interesting because everything about Kill la Kill, like, the anime...
You mean Akame got killed?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's getting a little late.
Everything about Akame got killed is so... The world building is for absolute shit. Because, like, okay, I get it. The Empire is bad and corrupt. But there's no nuance to it. It's just like, oh, they're evil because they want to be... Dude, Tatsumi literally stays with a family that murders people because they stay with them.
Yeah.
There were bad people in the Middle Ages. They didn't do that. That's not why they were bad. Anyway, fucking... right, sorry. Akame got killed. Tatsumi kind of suffers from this because it's like... There's no nuance...
Oh, we're putting him in fuckboy, by the way, right? Like, that's where he's going?
I was gonna put him in nobody.
Oh, alright, yeah, sure, fucking...
I mean, I don't think he's on the same level as Kirito, but,
yeah, I don't think so either.
Tatsumi is just like... Nothing in Akame ga Kill has any nuance whatsoever. It's just like, even though they gripe about how they're assassins, the people they're assassinating are just the biggest douchebags. How can I feel bad? Esdeath's a literal war criminal who's genocided countless people.
Yeah, there is.
Why should I feel bad about her being assassinated?
There's really no nuance there. It's just like they're like Tanjiro and the demons. They're just killing people.
They're
just killing people.
There's no reason that the Empire should continue to stand. Like the Roman Empire, It was corrupt, but at least it was a government that like provided some sort of security. There were trade-offs, all right? In life, there's usually no profound evil. There's just trade-offs. You get one thing, you don't have another. With the Empire, it's just corrupt and bad in every single way.
They're cartoonishly
no redeeming qualities.
evil.
It's a cartoon. So, is there nothing redeeming about Tatsumi? I think it's interesting that he just sort of accepts that he's an assassin. Later on, he just sort of grows to be like, look, we're killing people, but this is war.
Yeah.
And I think that's good and realistic. It's like,
by the way, like, I just want to... Okay. The show's named Akame Ga Kill. Okay, whatever. Akame is, like, a main character, but, like, Tatsumi is the main character.
Tatsumi's the main character.
Tatsumi is the main character, and he fucking dies.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't even die in the last episode either. He just he dies in, like, 3 episodes before the show ends.
Although in the manga, I mean...
He doesn't die in the manga. He turns into a fucking dragon.
He turns into a dragon.
But in the anime, he just dies.
He just dies, yeah.
Like,
and I mean,
yo,
it's like...
what?
I think that's... I mean,
I think it was just excessive. Like, there was no reason for him to die.
It's interesting that they were willing to kill him off in the anime. I don't know how that got approved, but, like, sure.
I have no idea.
But then it's like... Akame Ga Kill itself was so, like, trigger-happy with characters that it was hard to feel... It was hard to feel much about it. Like, the worst I felt was when mine was in the coma. I didn't really care when people died, because people just died, all the
only
time,
guy that I really felt like, I was like, oh, dude, fuck, was, I think, Lubach.
Oh, yeah, Lubach.
I think Lubach was the only guy, but, like, everybody else, I was like, yeah... Alright.
I felt bad for Kurame, who was Akame's sister.
Oh, yeah.
Who's, like, infinitely better than Akame, but, like, whatever.
I felt bad for Wave.
I felt really bad for Wave.
I felt really bad for... He didn't even die, and I just felt bad
Wave
for him.
and Kurame are, like, 10 times better than, like, Akame and Tatsumi. It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, it's
but
really...
whatever.
I don't get it, dude.
The show should have just been about... Well, never mind. Just...
It's such a bad show. Like,
Tatsumi, he's not the worst. He has some interesting moments, but Akame Ga Kill is just... It's unnuanced. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just cartoonishly stupid.
There is no nuance. It's just like the bad guys are really bad and the good guys kill the bad guys.
Like, scroll up. Just scroll up so we can look at our Inferno cops.
Oh,
those worlds are nothing but nuance. They are immaculate. I mean, in Mob's case, it's just a world.
It's just normal Japan.
But his interactions with people are
incredibly nuanced. I would say even everything in He Fucks has very nuanced worlds. Like, you know what I mean? Except for like Haikyuu,
especially like Shinji.
Especially Shinji. I think Shinji's world is incredibly nuanced. But I think Shinji and probably Kenshin's world are the most nuanced. Maybe Naruto's as well. But yeah, like with Tatsumi, it's just like, wow. The Empire, like, cool, they're a big threat. They kill people. They kill a lot of people. They kill a lot of the main characters.
Oh yeah.
But like, what?
They didn't like.
What do they believe?
Look,
what's their belief? How are they being? How are the main characters being challenged? Just besides, they do bad things. We have to stop them.
You can't ask me to take these moral questions seriously when you are not taking jack shit seriously, because there's no such thing as an empire that is absolutely evil. Maybe with the exception of Hitler's Germany, but like in history, in medieval times, there's no absolute evil. There's people who are trying to do their best and people who are corrupt. And you know what that results in? A lot of human suffering. There's a lot of human suffering in the United States.
A lot of human suffering everywhere.
People are trying to help here and people are corrupt here. That's just the nature of government.
Yeah.
But to then turn to me and be like, oh, it's so sad we're assassinating people when they're literally skinning people alive in the Capitol.
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta stop. Tatsumi, I'm sorry. you have some moments,
Dude,
but the whole series is dragging you down like a fucking...
Night Raid looks like a bunch of fucking clowns. I'm gonna be real honest.
They
look
basically
like a bunch
were.
of fucking clowns.
They basically were.
Although Tatsumi's original design looks really generic, but when he gets his fucking sweet badass coat, I was like, yo, alright. Yeah, alright, I can get behind it now.
That's when he starts to be okay with the killing, which is like interesting because it's just him getting beaten down by it all, which I kind of like. But other than that, nobody.
That's basically it. Tatsumi, dude, he's such a fucking joke. I don't know. Akame got killed.
Akame got kill's the joke.
Akame got killed is
That's
a real
the
joke.
punchline.
Tatsumi has like one or two good moments, but like, I can't really give him anything.
If your series isn't that good, it's gonna. But in Akame got kill's case, it's really, you can't.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Alright, so I'm just gonna get Vash out of the way right now, just because I want to talk about those two last. Vash fucks. Trigun is one of my favorite anime of all time. And like, Vash, you want to talk about moral questions. Vash is completely driven by the moral question of, is it okay to kill people? Which he deems it's not. It's not okay. He says nobody should ever take the life of another. No, like nobody should be able to make that decision. And he's constantly pushed into like almost killing people, into almost doing it. And it really comes towards the end where like it's either like he kills a bad guy or like all of these people die. Like this giant group of people. And he's like there's literally no other choice. He can't do anything. So he just has to kill the guy.
That's a popular theme in Japan where it's like, do you kill someone if you save a bunch of other people?
Yeah.
It's like,
I think that's just a popular question in philosophy.
I hate philosophy, so I wouldn't know.
But like, I mean, but Vash in himself, because like he is a character that wants to value life in general. He not only human life, but just all life. And the way he goes about, or the way people like go about challenging him and asking him like questioning like what he really believes, and like there's another character that's like his best friend. His name is Wolfwood, and Wolfwood is a guy. He's a mercenary who's like, he was like a former priest, and he just kills people now. Like he just kill. I don't know if he's a former priest or he is still a priest to some extent, but he carries a giant fucking cross that's like a cannon. And the cross also has fucking a ton of pistols in it. It's awesome. But he's the type of character that like is always pushing Vash and being like, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now? And Vash always has to come up like on the fly with these new solutions to problems. And like it's not just like the problems that he solves by not killing people aren't just like bad guys doing bad things. Sometimes it is, but it's also like social problems and economic problems too, like saving fucking cities and shit like that. And I really like the fucking, what's that movie called? Trigun's Badlands is a movie about where Vash, he basically stops a crime from happening, and then years later the criminal that he stopped comes back. And it's like asking the question is like, well, is it worth it? You know what I mean? Like, are you making a mistake by not doing that? Or by not killing him? Like, is he better off dead? And Vash coming to terms with, like, his quote-unquote mistakes of not taking care of the situation well enough. So, yeah, like, God, fucking Trigun's so goddamn good. Yeah, I just like, God, he's also just like a doof. Vash can just be a doof, and he can be goofy and awesome. He's the perfect balance of like badass and goofy. He's great. Yeah, Vash fucking cool. Sawada Tsunayoshi from Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Hitman Reborn is like my favorite thing ever of all time. I don't think I've never made a video about it. I've never like really said a lot about it before, but like it's literally my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing of all time, and it's literally because of Suna. And I mean, on top of a lot of other things too, but like Suna is the thing that like got me really invested in the show. Because he's this character that he's a fucking loser. Like Naruto is a loser. You know what I mean? But Suna is a fucking loser. He's not smart at all. He can't do anything. Everybody thinks he's a joke. His nickname is literally just Loser Suna. Everybody's like, you're fucking pathetic, dude. Like, everybody knows. Like, every test that he takes, he gets like 10s and 12s on it. Like, he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't do anything. He's just like, besides being like, I'm just a loser. Like, his self-confidence does not exist. It's imaginary. It's literally imaginary. And the show uses this, this premise of this fucking loser fuck-up kid that has to become a leader and has to grow into, this family because, they're mafia. He has to grow into this family leader that is respected by everybody and can prove himself and knows knows how to make the right decisions. And sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he makes dumb decisions. And sometimes he does regret his actions, but like, he's always trying. He's always trying to improve. He's always trying to get better. One of the biggest moments that strikes me is the Vongala family, which is what his family's called, has this code basically, and their code is like, because you have the blood of the Vongala inside of you. You have to operate like this. Like, you have to follow these kind of guidelines if you were the boss. And basically Suna is like, that's stupid, and I'm not gonna do that. So like, if this is what it takes, I'll fucking destroy the Vongala. I don't care. I'll tear everything fucking down. I'll tear it all down. And then because he communicates with like all of the past, or he can communicate with like all of the past bosses through their special abilities. Basically the first boss is like, yeah, I accept you. I accept that ideal. He just becomes like the best guy that he possibly can be. And he's still always growing, even at the end of the series. The thing is called Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Katekyo means tutor, so the show is called Tutor Hitman Reborn, and it's named after his tutor Reborn, who is like the strongest character in the series, and he's just teaching this kid how to be. Just how to grow up, you know what I mean? How to have self-confidence, how to make decisions, what to do. And when it comes to, at the very end of the show, it's, up to, if Reborn is going to leave or not. And Suna's like, no, I think I still have room to grow. Even though he's, everything is fine. He's beaten all the bad guys. There's basically nothing left for him to do. And he's like, no, I still need to improve. You know what I mean? And when I was a fucking teenager, when I was getting back into anime, this was the show that, really pushed me over the top. Because it was just, it really taught me that, I could just be myself. Just be myself, because that's all Suna is. He's just himself. There's really not anything super special about him. In terms of I don't know. Again, not a super world changing philosophy. It's just kind of he takes things as it goes. and as soon as like new things come up, he deals with them then. And yeah, I mean, Suna fucking means the world to me. He means the goddamn world to me. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, he's fucking awesome. He's great. Go watch Hitman Reborn or read the manga. Actually, just read the manga. It's actually better. And finally, we get to fucking Yusuke Urameshi, the other super fucking Chad. These two characters. This is why I wanted to talk about these two guys last, because these two fucking mean the world to me. If I was gonna describe any character that like this is just me, it's Yusuke Urameshi. Because there's just so much shit that I'm like, I would definitely fucking do that. I relate to this guy so goddamn much. He's just a punk. And his whole deal is that he has trouble like showing his emotions. He's kind of like not awkward, but he struggles to find what he cares about. You know what I mean? And like what things really mean to him. He kind of struggles like really accepting and showing the emotions that like saying like, hey, this person means a lot to me. I want to do everything I can to protect this person, or I want to do everything I can to help this person and show that I care about them. So like, yeah, that's his entire arc as a character is just him finding out how to care, basically. And he has a lot of like, because he's a character that's so fucking snarky, and he has such a bad attitude about everything. But at the same time, he has a heart of gold. Like, he's just a cool guy. He can just be a cool guy too. Like, and the show starts off with him in a position where it's like, he doesn't hate himself, but he doesn't value himself as a person, which starts his whole like finding out like how to care, you know what I mean? Because first he needs to find out that like others care about him, and he dies. In the first episode. He just fucking dies, and he attends his own funeral, because he's been given a chance to like come back, or he's like being given a chance to come back. And because he sees how much he actually means to other people, even like his like rival, who he just kicks the shit out of all the time. He literally just beats him up all the time. Like, his rival storms into his funeral and is like screaming. He's like, "You punk! You got yourself kicked! You fucking idiot! Like, who am I gonna fight now?" And he's basically in tears, and he has to be dragged out of his funeral. Because he's just making this emotional scene, and like Yusuke takes that shit to heart, and their relationship is so fucking good, and he's another character, kind of like Josuke over here, where he this delinquent fucking smile just gives me life, my guy. Just everything about Yusuke Urameshi just gives me life. One of my favorite, if not my favorite show of all time, fucking Yu Yu Hakusho. I love it so goddamn much. But yeah, that's it. I'll make a video about fucking those two some other time though, so I can actually like go in depth and talk about them. But yeah, that's it, man. Fuck. You feel like we should change anything? We don't really change a lot when we're doing these, I don't think.
I don't know. I'm pretty okay with this.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with this too. I
wish we got hate comments. People who were like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because those are funny.
Those are funny.
But, you know.
Sometimes I get messages on Twitter, but that's about it.
The road to fame is long. And, you know, it's full of potholes.
I'm just glad because I was like, let me just fill this list with like characters I like, because I feel like we have a lot in, you know, the upper echelons of the tier.
Well, that's the bit. I mean,
of all the tiers.
With any one of these, the more common shows are the ones that more people have seen, and those are usually the better ones. Just by, well, not always.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't say that, but
a lot of them are the better ones.
Yeah.
Like the ones that have endured throughout the years, like Naruto, like yeah, or Code Geass or Brotherhood's newer, but still
That came out in like 2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Shit, that came out in 2009.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes. But yeah, I agree. Also, I don't know. Like, I don't think the cool guy tier is bad. I don't think these characters are bad by any means. But like these guys, it's just fuck, especially fuckboy. Oh my god,
Fuckboy's like actually.
Like I just hate them.
Nah.
I just hate them. Like Kirito I hate him so much that I love him because he's a fucking joke. Like he's just a joke.
Yeah, but like, say we had this is how I know there's like a selection bias towards the top. Because say we had like Chivalry of a Failed Knight on here, we'd have so many more people down.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to pick characters for this list that like I enjoy the shows that they come from, so I have good things to say. Because I feel like most of the list, not our Naruto list, but I feel like the antagonists list and the best anime of all time list, I feel like those had a lot of more negative opinions. And I wanted to be like, yo, these are a lot of the positive characters. These guys are really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So... Yeah, I think we're fine. I think we're good. Oh my god, it's fucking 12 in the morning. I didn't want to go this late, god damn it. Alright, well that's all for now. Maybe we'll come back with another one sooner or later, but this is what you get, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell us if you agree, disagree in the comments, and if you have any more suggestions for tier lists that you want to see us do, shout them out, and maybe we'll get to them. So we'll see you guys later.
Peace.